alive. But wait, let me just turn on this light here so they can see me for real. Coming. Bang! We in the game. What's up, CXC students? What's the vibe? So we're gonna start shortly. Let me just make sure TikTok again will play too. What are we calling this boy? CXC Mock Exams 2026. As revision. So go live. Yeah, TikTok is just falling. How are you feeling? Just give me a little feedback now how things looking. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be based off of the 2024 paper. We're gonna revise with this and I'm gonna freestyle on it a little bit. So as I freestyle on it, I would be able to come up with questions and ideas and trends that you need to look out for. So this will be a nice intense study session. Please share with all your math groups, share with the Discord channel. Let me go share it as well. Let me see if I can share this. So we're gonna start in a little bit. Y'all, can you press like on the stream for me? Form 5 maths. Let's go. So we're just giving them a little time to catch themselves. Everybody good? So when is your mock exams? When is your mock exams gonna be? Everybody, what time is your mock exams? And in the meanwhile, you can also just get these answer for the first question. Tomorrow, next week. Tomorrow, so a lot of you all have exams tomorrow, so this revision going to come in handy for you guys. Wednesday, tomorrow, 16th, next week. Most people sometime this week or the following week. So on TikTok we have 88 people, so you all feel free to press like and share the stream. We're going to start this revision on YouTube. We just hit the 200, so very nice. All right, so let's get cracking. Calculate the value of 7.1 squared plus 2.9 squared and then all square root. So the best calculator is the Casio or a calculator with natural display. So you're looking for a calculator like this because you can literally type in the answer, right? Like type it as is, meaning you type the square root and then you put the brackets and you're literally going to type what you see and it shows up just like that in the calculator. So 7.1 close brackets, press squared. You see how it's looking exactly like that? So you want a calculator with natural display. How many of you all followed my instructions early on and got this calculator? How many of you all have this calculator? Everybody have this? And then when you press equal, you'll be good to go. So you have 7.66941. That's the full extended version. And they wanted the two significant figures. So what you want to do is look at the first significant figure. With significant figures, you always check the first non-zero number coming from this way. So the first significant figure here is the 7, then the 6. So it's like I have 7. Just give me a second. This thing keeps shorting out my pen. So I need to bring it up. Where is it? What is the answer? What do you think the answer is going to look like? So you have 7.66, but you want two significant figures. So you stop right here. The number that comes after is 5 or more. You know, 5 is the MVP. 5 is the MVP when you're approximating. You want to see if it's 5 or more. So the answer is 7.72. Two significant figures. And that's the answer you're looking for there. So we get to see how we do this type of question. So whatever it is, if they wanted it to 3 significant figures, what would you do? You go 7.66, and what you want to come after is 5 or more, so you give it a boost. So this would be 7.67, right? 7.67 if it was 3 significant figures. If it was 4, it would be 7.669. Do we get a boost? No, the 4. So it would just be 7.669. Now, significant figures is different than decimal places, right? How are we going, class? How are we going? 2 decimal places. So they wanted the 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places mean you watch after the decimal point. So 1, 2, that is a 9, so you give it a boost. So the answer is 7.67. So it's 7.67 to 2 decimal places. So you're almost guaranteed to get some kind of question and some form of approximation, some type of fraction, some form of significant figures, something like that. Which write the following quantities in ascending order. So we can just plug it in on our calculator and press equal and see which one gives the highest decimal. We can change all of them to decimal. In primary school, we would have changed all of them to fractions, right? Get like a common denominator. But in this case, we want to change all to decimals. So we're going to put, what are we going to do? Have some fun with that 12 over 25 day. 12 over, just now I'm feeling kind of warm, boy. I'm going to take off this socks. Put the 12 over 25 on here. Now, on this calculator, some people complain, like, when they put 12 over 25 and they press equal, the calculator just give them back 12 over 25. Anybody, when they now started using this calculator, they was confused? Like, yes, calculator, I know that, but I wanted decimals. Well, the thing is, in math, there's, fractions are desired. Fractions is the better thing. Fractions is the go-to. But in this case, we actually want decimal, so this is the button that you're looking for. This SD button. So that means that we're dealing with 0.48, 0.46. And we already know 47% is 0.47. You just move the decimal point 2 places, right? Means 47 over 100 or 0.47. So in ascending order, we'll start with the smallest, which is this guy. So this was written as 0.46. The next one is this, which was written as 47%. So 0.46 is less than 47% is less than 0.48, which was written as 12 over 25. Are we cooking? Are we cooking? So that's basic stuff. At this stage, everybody's pretty good in that. Mahindra and Jaya shared $7,224 in the ratio 7:5. How much more money does Mahindra receive than Jaya? So there's like two styles to approach this question. The idea is you want to get the total number of parts. Total number of parts. So with ratio, finding the total number of parts is normally a really good place to start. So 7:5, the total number of parts would be what? 7 plus 5 is 12. So a lot of these techniques for these questions, this is my personal technique, right? This is what I use for students, and I develop it over the years, and I find it works the best. Some of them become popular because I have a YouTube channel and teachers use the same technique. But if your teacher taught you another technique and it works for you, that's fine. So 7 plus 5 is 12 parts. I kind of go for the least point of friction and the way that is understood universally by the most number of students. So there are 12 parts here and we're trying to find the value of 1 part. And in this section of maths, in a lot of maths, finding for 1 is a very powerful thing. So 12 parts here represent what? The whole total, which is $7,224. So finding for 1 is a division process. We could find how much 1 part is. 1 part, everybody understand? So this idea kind of cracks open a lot of questions in ratio. We cooking, how much is 1 part going to be equal to? How much is 1 part? We're going to go down straight. We're going straight down. Hopefully. Straight down to the last question. Hopefully. Depends on how much energy you all have. You all feel you can do a whole paper? So if we divide that by 12, what happens? We get 7,224. And we divide it by 12, 602. So you get $602. So what does that mean? That means each part here, remember this is Mahindra and Jaya, and it will be Mahindra and Jaya. Keep the same order, right? As these students lose marks by not keeping the same order. Mahindra gets 7 of that 602. And Jaya gets 5. So I can do two things. I can find out how much Mahindra gets, how much Jaya gets, and then subtract. Everybody understand? That's what most of y'all will do. I can also do something a little shortcutish, but a little faster. Who's seen a little faster approach I can get to the answer here? Well, Mahindra gets 7 parts, Jaya gets 5 parts. How much more parts Mahindra gets? Mahindra gets how much more parts than Jaya? So Mahindra minus Jaya in terms of parts is 7 minus 5 equal 2 parts more. Thanks. 2 parts more. So if I work out how much 2 parts is, I'll have the answer. So 2 parts is equal to 602 times 2, which is 1204. And that's the answer. So the answer is 1204. And we're cooking. That's a little intro to ratios. Press like if you understand, and if you haven't subscribed. I've been watching some of my lives, and I'm surprised when TikTok and YouTube tell me half the people not following. Like, that is the lessons fee. when a teacher giving you free lessons online, you feel the fees. Some of you behind on fees for months. Press like and subscribe. That's the fee. The present especially if you're getting value. The present population of Portsmouth is 550,000. Expected population will increase by 42%. Write the number in standard form. So first in standard form. Now when CSEC says standard form in maths, they really mean scientific notation. And in scientific notation, I was doing this recently with my 4 months, we find the decimal point and we really send them all the way to the first non-zero number right after that. Bang. So the number will transform into 5.5. Now we need to record. We need to record how much times we move the decimal point. Just give me a second. There's something blasting. I think my wife is watching some movie downstairs. Okay. A little wrong that. I'm back. Can't be blasting no movie. So 5.5. You need to track how much times you move it. How much times you move it, people? This is baby questions. We ready to move faster? You move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're gonna put times 10 to the power of 5. Some people have a little confusion. How many of you all are a little concerned because you know things that go to the left are negative? So why when I move it to the left here, you don't put negative? Well, you're not really moving it to the left. You're moving it to the right. How are you moving it to the right? Because you're actually saying 5.5 multiplied by 10 to the power of 5. So this is where you're really moving in. This is just tracking how much times you move it. But it's actually that you set the decimal point here now. And if you want to get back the number, you have to move it to the right. So hopefully that kind of help put your mind at ease with that. So yeah, calculate the expected population. Remember, it's going to go by 42%. So the new population is going to be 100%, which is the original, plus the increase, which is 42%. So the new population is going to be 142%, or that is 1.42 times the original. Yes? So new population value is going to be 1.42 times, or 142 over 100 times the original. So you get 55000. Percentages are allowed to attack initial values. Are going too fast? No, I'm not going too fast. Actually going a little slow. I'm going well explained here. So if this is too fast, it's a little concerning. You can always make note of the topics, right? I'm saying each topic. I'll try and write it by each one of them, and you could always go and review it on your own if you find the average pace is too fast for you. And what we're going to get? I'm not seeing any answers. Send answers, people. Send thing. Don't keep me here in the dark, no? Somebody want me to do a pure maths live. It's been a while. So the calculator is telling me that I should get this one. Come back here. Where's my screen? Where's my pen? Guys, my pen get in trouble. I'll get in time to write the answer. Write it. Oh yes, father. Me and this pen going and fall out bad today. Bad. So it's going to be, I just need to get this right now running a Windows atmosphere and it just clouding up my scenes here, boy. They're fighting me down. Right, I get it open. So this is going to be 781,000. So let's see what we did so far. This is a percentage increase. It's a trend. This topic is called percentage increase. Everybody make note of this. Percentage increase. You're going to look up this. Because some of you all acting like this is strange. This is form one thing. This is straightforward. Rate the difficulty so far for you. How hard was this? Seeing Ash saying he don't understand this one. So the present population is 550,000. You raise it by 42%. Some of you all know the old school way where you find 42% of that and you add it. What I did is just take the 42%, add it to the original 100%. 142%. This can be written as 142 over 100. That's what percent means out of 100. And you multiply that by the original value to get the answer. So we're moving forward. So I've seen some 6 out of 7, 1 so 1. So it's easy, kind of easy. 1 out of 10, easy stuff, right? 2 out of 10, the difficulty in the hand. So we're moving forward. The graph below can be used to convert between United States dollars and Eastern Caribbean dollars. So we see a straight line. That means it's a constant value passes through 0. So it's like y is equal to mx, where m is the gradient. It works just like that. But they want us to use the graph to convert 2 US to EC. So what you want to do is find 2 US on the graph, and then we can swing back. So 2 US is here. Swing across. Bang. See where I'm going to hit there? I hit right there on the line. That point on the line right there. And then I'm going to swing down. Then moving my point. This is where I think it is, right? And if we zoom in on that day director, zoom in, that looking like 5 and 2 of the dashes would have passed, right? 1 dash, another dash there. I was plumb on that, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divisions between 5 and 6. So each one is 2. So this is 5.2, 5.4. Everybody understand that? Not 5.2, 5. A lot of you have 5.2. Now they will give that wrong. They will give 5.2 wrong. That's misreading the graph. Understand what's going on here? So like this is not 2.1, I think that's 2.1. No. Because if this was 2.1, that's 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. That would make this 2.5. So it counted in twos. So I realized that there were 5 divisions and I knew I had to get 10 between there. That's why I know this was 5.2, 5.4, 5.6, 5.8, and 5.10, which is 6. Making sense? So 5.4 is the answer. So from graph, and you have to have those lines on the graph. From the graph, 2 US, well, let me write it like that. US dollars 2 is equal to EC dollars 5.4. And with dollars, we normally put 2 decimal places, $5.40. Cook it! Let's keep moving. Convert 70 EC to USD. So, and they want you to use the graph. So we look upon the graph there. Look upon the graph. And we do not see, hold up, TikTok have more than YouTube. TikTok have 228 people and YouTube have 332. Very close. Very amazing. That is amazing. So we look upon the graph. And you seen any 70 there? No, I am not seeing any 70. So what I mean by put 70, boy, well, they're expecting you to use this thing and be like, well, so all right, I don't have 70, but why not use 7 and just multiply whatever I get by by what? By 10, right? So 7 EC is same situation going on here now. Same situation going on here. Watch this. 7 EC is what? 2.2, 2.4, 2.6. 7 EC is 2.6. This is 2024. 7 EC is equal to 2.6 US. Therefore, I don't even need to show or find for one here. This makes sense, right? 70 will be, the ratio is 10. So it'll be US 2.6 times 10. Just move the decimal point. So you get US $26.00. Cooking. All right, earlier, are we cooking or are we being cooked? We just locked down the first question there. Like 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. So anything like this, do you think going to happen in the exams? So you feel anything like this coming for the yes, percentage increase? See that percentage increase, they're loving that right now. And of course, scientific notation and significant figures and decimals, they're loving those two things as well. So look out for that. Write it down, go and research it, go and research simple topics, free marks. Everybody here could learn that in like a 10 minutes if you pay your mind to it. So number 2 is all about algebra. Let's go. Does commission come in the exam? Yes, commission could come. Commission is percentage. Commission is a percentage question. Laura needs to put, you know what, let me open my website. I will open my website to double check my answers to make sure I didn't do any silliness. You all know you can get past paper solutions on coinspringer.com. And it's the best. It's the best. I'm not just saying that because it's on coinspringer.com. It's truly the best. Go and check it for real. You got ball if you never went on that website before. You'll be like, oh gosh, it's all them past paper solutions there all the time and I struggling by. Yes. All the time. So according to my past paper solution, I'm cooking. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been cooking. Let's go. Next question. Y'all hearing me properly, right? Let me just make sure I'm right audio selected. That go work. What's going on with this question? Laura needs to put mesh around 2 seed beds to protect her seedlings. Altogether, that means total, she uses 60 meters of mesh. Around, distance around is speaking on what? That's speaking on perimeter. So the total perimeter of these two, so the total peri, according to the question, is 60 meters. One of the seed beds is a rectangle, the other is a square shown in the diagram below. The width of the rectangular seed bed is x. The length of the rectangular seed bed is 3 times the width. So I could immediately come down and watch that and be like, well, use really 3 times the width, brother. If the width is x, what are you going to be? What do you think you're going to be, Mr. 3 times the width? 3x, of course. 3x. So I put in that one time. The length of the rectangular seed bed is 3 times the width. The length of the side of the square seed bed is y. And I could clearly see that right there. Using the information above, derive a simplified expression for y in terms of x. So let's write everything we know as an algebraic equation. Everything is adding up to 60, you agree? What is the perimeter of a rectangle? Even if you don't know the nice pretty formula, there's a pretty formula for the perimeter of a rectangle. It looks like 2 times length plus width. I mean, everybody know you'll need to add up the length, then the next side of the length, then the width, then the next side. So you could have done that instead of doing this. So let's do that long way. And the perimeter of a square is simply 4 times the side. If you have one side, 1s, you're going to have 4 of that. So 4s. 4s is going to be the perimeter. So it's y, so 4y. So I think we cook in there. So we should have that the 3x and another 3x on this side. And then 2 x's here. So you could put x plus x, which is really 2x. But let me put it out this long way. And then we have this square, which is y plus y plus y plus y which is really 4y, wherever, right? You write all the whole long thing, and then all of that must be equal to how much? 60, because the total perimeter, combined perimeter altogether is 60. Are we cooking? Cooking? So is something like this coming for the exam? What you all think? Yes. This is called geometry combined with algebra. They're loving that right now. Woo! CXC loving that right now. So make sure you understand this. Where they have some kind of geometrical thing and they combine it with algebra, they're loving that. So what we need to do is simplify, and then they want us to get an expression for y in terms of x. That is code. What do you all think that is code for? For y in terms of x. Those of you all who understand the language of algebra, press like, or subscribe, follow, do what you have to do. What do you think that means? I'm breaking it down here plenty, right? So I hope everybody paying attention. That means this person who said that 8x plus 4y is not totally correct, derive a simplified expression for y in terms of x. Now, that is a little weird to write because we know expressions don't have equal signs. That's an excluded. Expressions don't have equal signs. So what they want us to do, Vinasha on YouTube is onto something. But let's simplify this first. Let's simplify. Maybe you all say like, so simplify it now, man. 3x, x. How many x's is that? That's 8 x's. Agreed? So we have 8 x's. Anybody else have 8 x's here? Plus 4y. More x, the more problem. Equals 60. So when they say for y in terms of x, it means we need to get y by itself on one side. That's what it means. So it means we need to bring across that 8y. So this is really 4y is equal to 60. It'll bring across the 8x. We're getting closer to getting y by itself, yes? Just divide everything by 4. How many of you all know about that trick? How many of you all know about that trick? I kind of have the numbers color coded here so you could follow it. You could slow down the video if you're not too strong in maths. Divide everything by 4. Know about that trick? Or you could consider it as bringing across the 4 and everything will end up dividing over 4. So if I divide everything by 4, I will get y. 60 divided by 4 is 15. And 8x divided by 4 is minus 2x. So this is close to your answer. I believe they'll give you the 2 marks for that. But they said derive an expression for y in terms of x. So the expression for y in terms of x is literally this. 15 minus 2x. This is an expression. An expression has no equal signs. So I have an expression for y in terms of x. It doesn't have y in it. It's in terms of x. Ooh, it's tricky. Yeah, so let's keep going. The area of the rectangular seedbed is equal to the area of the square seedbed. So they want you to come up with this formula here now. The area of the rectangular seedbed is equal to the area of the square seedbed. Now keep in mind, we had this going on, in case you forget. We had a 3x here, we had an x here, and we had a y here, and well, this will be y too because it's a square. Use this information to write down the quadratic equation in terms of x and show that it simplifies to that. Notice you don't see no y there again. So this paper had people bawling, boy. I can see why, right? What y'all think? Those of y'all who are a little weak in maths, and you're kind of squirming right now, like, ugh. So what's going on here? They want you to come up with a quadratic equation. It only have x's. Well, in maths, sometimes you could do well by just going forward. Just go forward with what you know. The area of the rectangular seedbed is equal to the area of the square seedbed. Let's just come up with that. What's the area of the rectangular seedbed? So the area here of the rectangle is length times width. 3x by x is 3x times x is, you know how to multiply that? That's 3x squared. And then the area of the square is side by side. That's if this was called a side and that's called a, so that's just y by y, that's y squared. So that's it. And they are telling us that these two things are equal to each other. So 3x squared is equal to y squared. You already collect some marks there. And that's not so bad. I think most of you all could have started up there, even if you don't know where to go after that. I've seen some people have that in the chat. 3x squared is equal to y squared. The area of the rectangular seatbelt is equal to the area of the square seatbelt. And you must understand algebra to reach that far, right? Well, what you're supposed to do next is recall, and these questions are usually based from the past, right? X's and Y's, and X's is always be asking Y and bringing up the past. And you know how the X's is go, just bring out the past. So this Y, we know what Y is. This is Y. This is Y. Why do you think you do that from before? Y is really 15 minus 2x. So we can replace that Y with, you see, let's see division now. You can replace that Y with the 15 minus 2x. And just square this. I replace the whole of Y with what Y was from before in the previous part. And you know how to square these things, so you'll want a little crash course in how to square this. Crash course in how to square it. We cooking. I've seen people saying we cooking. How are we squaring that? How do you square a binomial again? So if I have a plus b and I say square that, that's really saying that I have a plus b by a plus b, and I need to multiply this a by that a by the b by the a, and the b by the b. That process is sometimes called FOIL. The first multiply, the outers multiply, the inners multiply, and the last multiply. First, outer, inner, last. You don't need to know that. You just need to follow them arrows. A by a is a squared. A by b is ab. B by e is ba. But ba and ab is the same thing, eh? And b by b is b squared. So this is really a squared plus, this is really two same things here. So I can put 2ab's plus b squared. That's an expansion of when you're squaring a binomial. So let's change it to x's now. What about if I had, everybody try and do this. What about if I had x plus 5 and I instead square that? What would that be? X plus 5 squared. Work it out real fast earlier. You can use the long way or the short way. So you all remind me when the time reach 9 o'clock. When the time reach 9 o'clock, I'll sit down. I've been going whole day. Whole day I'm going. Since 3 o'clock this morning. Since 12 o'clock this morning, I was in the airport in Guyana. Big up everybody from Guyana here. Throw your country flag in the chat. So when I square this, it's not going to just be x squared plus 25 this I. This is going to be x plus 5 by x plus 5. Follow the arrows. Follow the arrows. X had a multiply by x. X had a multiply by 5. 5 by x and x by and 5 by 5. So if I follow the arrows very carefully here, what's going to happen? X by x is x squared. X by 5 is 5x. 5 by x is another 5x. You see the same double thing happening here. And 5 by 5 is 25. So we are real people from Jamaica in the chat. Jamaica Wagwan. So this is 5x plus 5x. So this is 10x plus 25. Trinidad and Guyana in the chat too. What's up? So x squared plus 10x plus 25. Anytime you tell somebody from the Caribbean, chew up your flag, they like, say less, bro. Say less. I don't need that. I don't need an invitation. One thing we not short on is patriotism here. X squared plus, no matter what going on in the country, all kind of bacchanal be going on in the Caribbean. X squared plus 10x plus 25. So what I'm saying, I want to show you, maybe some of you all need to practice this. Go look it up on ChatGPT, tell them to give you some practice. But those of you all who kind of catching it, there's a shortcut. So let's say I have x plus 6 to be squared. The shortcut is to just square the x, get the x squared, square the 6, get the 36. But don't just stop there, there's a middle term. Notice how there's a middle term there? The middle term, the short way of figuring it out, and this is what most top students do, is say 2 by the x and then multiply by the 6. 2 by x is 2x. And in your mind, right? In your mind are doing this. 2 by x is 2x, and then I multiply by 6. 6 by 2 is 12x. So I'm going to get 12x. So that's what going in the middle right here. Plus 12x. You can try it out for yourself later on. A lot of the students in the chat know that. If you know it, type IK for I know. I know. IK, if you know this. X squared plus 12x plus 36. So let's go back to the question. In the question, we have 15 minus 2x to be squared. So very shortly and very quickly, we can get 15 squared is 225. 2x squared is 4x squared, because 2x by 2x is 4, and then the x will be squared. And then 2 by 15 is 30, and 30 times 2 is 60, but it's negative, so it's negative 60x. Woo! Are we cooking? Now, if you watch over here, that's real close to what we want to know. We're dangerously close to collecting full marks in this part. We're dangerously close. We just need to bring across the 3x. And if we bring across the 3x, we'll get 0 here. 4x squared minus 3x squared is actually 3x squared to bring across. So you get 4x squared. Let's minus the 3x squared. Making sense, everybody? Fully making sense and dollars. See how I bring across the 3x squared and turn from positive to subtract. And minus 60x, very close, plus 225. And this is simply going to be 0 is equal to x squared, because 4 minus 3 is 1. 1x squared minus 60x plus 225. So this was one of the hardest questions that came so early in a paper for students. It was rough. It was rough. Obviously, this is not SEA. If I have any SEA student here, don't do yourself this, my brother. Don't do yourself this. Just go along and watch your TikToks and thing. Come off at this. Come off at this. So x squared minus 60x plus 225 equals 0 has been found. That's the answer. I can just bring the 0 on the next side. That's not a problem. Only for 2 marks. Yes, that's while CXE is the most stingy. CXE Maths is the most stingy subject in the whole CXE lineup for marks. Most. By far. Easily. Now, solve this using the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula looks like this. X is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Very easy to memorize. Very easy. You can memorize. Everybody here can memorize this in 2 minutes if they spend the time. And to memorize it, you just need to write. Write. Not penmanship. Write with a concerted effort to correct your mistake every time you make it. So you're not writing it right next to each other. You're writing it, go and turn the page, try and write it from memory, make a mistake, fix the mistake, turn the page. Most people will get it by the 3rd or 4th try now. Most of y'all is just revise the wrong way. I made a video and I'm going to upload it tomorrow or day after tomorrow on study techniques. Everybody lock in for that video, right? Press subscribe, follow me on TikTok, and we'll go through that. I'll show you the best study techniques that the top students use. So if this is the formula, all you need to do is substitute to number general. So you're going to put minus, remember, it's in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So therefore, a is 1, b is negative 60. You see it? Negative 60. And c is 225. So just substitute in the formula and go with the grace of God, man. Somebody like, I cannot remember this. And I'm sure that person could rattle out a whole tune in their favorite artist. You all just not understanding how to revise and retain information. I taught remedial students for 2 years in teaching. When I just started teaching, I worked with remedial students, and unless you have a mental condition, like maybe a certain mental condition, you could end up not learning. But everybody, the average folk can't remember it. Minus 60. Oh, no. Be careful. Let's substitute fast. Minus negative 60. Substitute plus or minus the square root of. This is negative 60 to b squared minus 4. A is 1. C is 225. Everybody understand the substitutions there? 2 by a is 1. And you plug this into your calculator just as is. Let's make sure we substitute it right. So all the b's was negative 60. B's, there's a b here. All the a's were 1. There's a a here and an a here. And the C was 225. There's a C there and a C there. Now, there's a plus or minus here, so that's a little weird. So let's do it piece by piece. Let's do it piece by piece. Let's get the brackets out of the way with the square root. And let's get this part here out of the way. I hope all you're with me, right? So let's get this is minus negative 60. So let me come to this side here so you'll see what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch these two negatives to a positive, so I get 60 plus or minus, and I can put back the square root, but let's see if I can get what that square root was. It's the square root of 60 squared. I don't care about the negative because I'm squaring it, so you're going to turn positive anyway. Minus 4 by 1. I could have leave out the 1 since 1 ain't doing nobody nothing. 225. So let's see if I get a nice number with this. I get 30 root 3. And I love that. Your calculator gives you it in what we call thirds. I can press this to get the decimal, which is 51.96. But let's leave it as 30 root 3. So it means the same thing, right? Don't get frightened. It means the same thing. This is 30 times the square root of 3. All over 2. 2 by 1 is 2. So I can divide 2 into these two things. Normally, I don't ever work like this, going across in a line like this, but I run out of space. So 2 into 60 is 30, and 2 into 30 is 15 root 3. So we're going to examine this and see how we're going to come up with the two answers. There's two answers. So x is either 30 plus 15 root 3. So let's put in that 30 plus 15 square root of 3 is that 30 plus 15 root 3. That's our answer. Now I can put this and get 55.9. Anybody get that answer? 55.9 is actually 56.0 to three significant figures. 56.0 or x is equal to, if I instead of adding, if I minused, so instead of adding, if I change this to subtract, that's how it works with quadratics. You need to go and revise quadratics. That's a topic by itself. I'll get 4.01, which is 4.02. 4.02 to three significant figures. 3 significant figures. Now, this is the most accurate answer here, right? 30 plus or minus is 15 root 3. So the two answers are either 56 or 4 if I go to like two significant figures. That's us right there. We good? That was a rough question. I'm sorry but this is what came in this paper. There's a lot of fallout this year because of this paper. Everybody double tap the stream, press like. Let's keep going. Calculate the total area of the two seed beds now. Well, if x is 56, what do you think is the area of the two seed beds? I've figured out what x is. So how do I get the area of the seed beds? Go back to these seed beds. 3x by x. Let's get for the y first. Y is what? Y, I have a relationship with y up here. Y is 15 minus 2x. Y is 15 minus 2x. So if x is 56, y is 15 minus 2x. So y would be 15 minus 2 by 56. The answer is negative. I smile because that one of them usually it doesn't work out when you get something like this in quadratics. So 15 minus, I put it in a calculator like this, 2 by 26. I'm sorry, 56. It don't matter, still get negative. You get negative 97. You get you ever see a seed bed that's negative something? You can't have a negative dimension. Not on this planet. So negative 97. So this is invalid. We need to try the other one. So if x is equal to 4.02, y is 15 minus 2 by 4.02. This one will work out. 15, let's just switch this back to 4.02. And we get this, 6.96. So y is equal to 6.96. How are you all feeling about that? Was it meters? Anything was given dimension-wise? Meters, yes, meters. 60 meters. So we just have a value that works for y and x. So now we can calculate the total area of the two seed beds. A lot of work here, boy, for 2 marks again. Woo-wee! So for this, it's going to be 3x times x. The area is 4x squared. Sorry, 3x squared. Did I make a mistake? Let's scroll back up here. Did I say 4x squared up there? No, I said 3x squared. So good. Yeah, boy, 3x squared. So this is going to be 3 by 4.02 squared. What is that answer? Everybody give me that answer in the chat. Type it in your calculator. And then the area of the square is going to be y by y squared, which is 6.96 squared. So give me this answer. So I'm getting 12.06 in the chat. 3 by 4 squared. Nah, that's not correct. 4 squared. Let's set it my bad here, boy. 3 by, yeah, somebody said 52 point, Delia, thank you. 52.92. I believe that one. Maybe. That's the total. No, it should be 48. 4.02 squared and by 3. Yeah, so it should be somewhere around 48 times 3. 48, man. So 48.4812. Let's set it up now. 48.4812. Let's put the accurate thing for now. And then what's 6.96 squared? 0.96 squared. I don't work out my own thing then. Let me see if TikTok had the right answer. Yeah, man, TikTok had something. I know some of you all getting discouraged. Some people like, oh God, what is this paper? Wait, 6.96 squared turned out to be 48.44. They was real close to each other in the area. What a coincidence. 48.4416. 48.4416. So therefore, last bit, we ain't done yet. They wanted the total area. So the total is going to be 48.4812 plus 48.4416, which is approximately how much? Add it all up. This time, give me something that makes sense. So 3 significant figures. 96 point something. YouTube, 96.96, 96.96, 96.93, 96.93, 96.9. So 96.9. So 96.9 to 3 significant figures is the final answer for this question. And you take a deep breath. This is the toughest question 2 that came in recent history. Like maybe the last 15, 16 years. This is the toughest question 2 that ever came. So it's a real example in how they can stretch you in question 2. One of the worst question 2s that ever came for the average student. Or somebody who's strong in maths shouldn't have any problem with this. Let's go on to some easier parts of life now, eh? This was requested by my students that we go through again, a bedtime reminder here, that we go through 2024. So you can blame them for picking this one, but I mean, you're getting good preparation. A vertical flagpole FE stands on a horizontal ground and is held by 2 ropes. PG and PRN is shown in the diagram below. PG is 18 meters, FR is 9.7, FGP is 38. So no new friends. Everything is on the diagram. Everything stated here is on the diagram. So I don't need to watch that anymore. Calculate the height of FP. What are we going to use for this? So, and hint, anytime you see triangles show up in the first part of the paper, you're probably going to use Pythagoras theorem or trigonometric trigonometric ratios, trig ratios like SOHCAHTOA. So SOHCAHTOA, you use that when an angle is involved. And it's right angle, right? A right angle triangle. Pythagoras theorem, that only works when you have three sides involved and you're trying to figure out one of these sides. So I'm seeing an angle involved clearly here, right? I want to find the, what, FP? There's this angle here. So it's almost like an angle of elevation question. Which one are we going to use? Well, there's SOHCAHTOA. And for those who don't know, this is called trigonometric ratios. You can revise it afterwards. It's about an hour to review this and understand this. And this is what it means. This is what it means, right? So which one do we use? Well, in a right angle triangle, we can describe the sides based on the angle given. So if the angle given is here, this is always the hypotenuse. The longest side on the triangle is always called the hypotenuse. And it's also always opposite the right angle. So HYP stands for hypotenuse, right? You can look it up. Opposite the angle is called the the opposite. All right, next to the angle is called the ADJ, which stands for adjacent. Adjacent, opposite, hypotenuse. Now, it's worthwhile to note that if I had the angle, ladies and gentlemen, if I had the angle up here, although the hypotenuse never moves, that would remain the same. The opposite will actually move, and the opposite will become here, and the adjacent will become there. So it all depends on where the angle is situated in the question. So since I know this is the angle, the opposite is over here, which is what I'm trying to find, by the way. And what else is involved? The hypotenuse. So I go across here and see who has opposite and hypotenuse in their formula. Sine. So the sine of theta is the opposite divided by the hypotenuse. So this is straightforward. So it needs to start looking on TikTok. And again, the TikTok people enough love. All right, I'm going to bring a across a little bit. My screen real big now, and the first thing I see is my YouTubers. TikTok complaining YouTube. Let me see if I can just move this across. So anybody, wow, I just make the whole thing come up in the whole screen here. Oh, geez. Please don't try to message me on WhatsApp right now. You won't get through because you know I'm teaching and there's only one of me. Seeing some people hitting me some long messages right now on WhatsApp. What's the answer here, ladies and gents? You all finished? So the sine of 38, I'm substituting now, is the opposite over 18. Bring across the 18 the opposite, which is actually the FP that I'm trying to find, right? Would have to be 18 by sine of 38. Some quick algebra there. And that you can literally type that into your calculator. I'll have to multiply, right? Since the 18 is below, it comes across 18 sine 38. Make sure you see a little D there on your calculator to show that it is in degrees. Sine 38. How are we looking? 11.08. Everybody got that? And they didn't specify, but they gave us things in two significant figures. So if you give them back two significant figures, that's scientifically correct. But let's just go to three significant figures because that's what they advise all the time. 11.1. So you get 1.1 meter. 2, 3 significant figures. Are we cooking? If you're ready for the next question, say next. Find PR, the length of one of the pieces of rope used to hold you. So they want us to find this now. Now, I actually gave my students in class a question just like this at the end of basic trigonometry. Anybody from class remember that? We did one very similar to this at the end of basic trigs. If any of my students are here, it's time for me to sit down now. So let's fix my camera. Now that they switch over to just sides being involved, we want is it locked? Yeah, it's locked. We want to use Pythagoras theorem. So we know that this is 11.1. 3 significant figures are not bad. Meters. This is 9.7. So what will be the length of PR? If this is 11.1 and this is what, 9.7, I can call this A and B and call upon the powers of Pythagoras theorem. What is Pythagoras theorem? How does it look like? Are you grinding with me? We could go whole night. We could do this whole paper, or we stop in halfway. Let me know, you know. My energy, I could go till morning. So it's up to y'all if you can do the whole paper. So Pythagoras theorem says that c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. Imagine that. All you need to write the exam. So anybody who's scrolling off at this to go and watch, I don't know, to go and watch that person's profile for the 10th time today. Shame. Ring the bell of shame. Come and study. So c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. This is written as the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of the other two sides. That's Pythagoras theorem for us, right? Yeah, the whole paper. You don't want to do the whole paper? So c squared is equal to 11.1 squared plus 9.7 squared. Put that in your calculator. 11.1 squared plus 9. We beaten the spirit of procrastination today. 217.3. So this one is straightforward. This is the usual things that we get for this kind of question. This is called trigonometry. Trigonometry can show up here. Also, other types of geometry can show up here, like plane geometry and transformation geometry. And the square root of that, you can just write square root of answer to get that. It's 14.7. 14.7 meters to 3 significant figures. Cooking. Now we have this. What is this called? So this is calculations involving plane geometry. In the diagram below, PQ is parallel to MN. So when you have parallel lines and you have this line that comes across it like this, what is this called? What is this line here called? Ladies and gentlemen, what do we call this line? That line is called the transversal. Transversal. Not trans anything else, just transversal. And what the transversal does is it creates, like this is x, it creates identical situations, like this is equal to that. This side here is equal to that. And we did that in class recently, corresponding alternate angles, co-interior angles. So that's that. I see YouTube people know what it is. YouTube people know the thing. Find the value of x. Well, this is 28. If this is 28, how are we going to figure out the value of x here, boy? Oh, it's an isosceles triangle. Additional new friends were given up there. That was very important. Very important. So since there's an isosceles triangle, what does that mean for us, ladies and gents? What does that mean for us? That is isosceles triangle. What's the triangle they're referring to? What do we know about isosceles triangles? Isosceles triangles, we say that the base angles are equal in an isosceles triangle. For example, if this was 50, this is 50. Not looking like 50, not looking more like 70. If this was 70, this is 70. Yes, are we cooking? So therefore, we can find the value of these two angles, which is important for us. Actually, this is the really important guy here. Because if I find him, that means I have this. Because they are corresponding. And then if I have this, I can figure out this because there's angles on a straight line. Let's start cooking. Now you can name your angles on the diagram and say with reference to the diagram. So if you're feeling namish, you can name it like theta 1 and theta 2. Or you could use normal angle nomenclature. I hope I'm pronouncing that word right. Normal angle jargon. And it can be like Well, let me show you. Well, we already say base angles are equal in an isosceles triangle. In isosceles. Therefore, this angle here, LTR, you'll understand what I'm saying when I say LTR? LTR, that's this angle here. LTR must be equal to, I need to subtract the 28, and whatever remains, I have to divide it by 2. And how much is that going to be? 180 minus, it's important to practice writing proper statements and things. So even though some of you all, as soon as you realize that, oh yeah, I understand, it's the next question. No. Write the proper statement. Work it out. Why are you taking so long to do this? It's like going to the gym. I have to keep saying this. It's like, who is the best shooter of the basketball in the world? Who is the best shooter of the basketball in the world? Probably undisputed. The best shooter of the basketball in the world. So this is 76 degrees. So if this is 76 degrees, therefore SLQ is also 76 degrees. And then in brackets you put corresponding angles. Somebody say SGAS? SGA is the best shooter right now? Oh gosh, well, historically it's Stephen Curry, right? Steph Curry. But yet still, every time he goes to play a game, this man is take warm-up shots. Why? So some of you all don't want to just write this statement properly because you know it. This time you really know it that good too. Write this statement properly, you will get stronger in maths like that. You'll get faster, you'll get quicker. You will be able to think critically by being able to formulate algorithms and statements. All of a sudden, math starts to get easier for you. You're all doing too much shortcutting your whole life. So x is equal to 180 minus 76, which is equal to 104 degrees, since angles on a straight line, practice writing the reason, are supplementary. What does supplementary mean? Supplementary. That doesn't mean you can stretch. Supplementary means add up to 180 degrees. Cooking. Are we cooking? I think we are. Last bit is about transformation. So they basically hit you the 1, 2, 3 combo. They hit you the 1, 2, 3 combo here. They hit you the trigs. They hit you the plane geometry, and it's your transformation. Now, transformation is common in the people them exam. Yo, we had 392 people here. We grinding. We burning the midnight oil. Describe fully the single transformation that maps T onto Q. So that already looking like what to me? What that looking like to you? It's clearly not a rotation. It's not way we rotating this, maybe. It's not way we rotating this. It's not way to rotate that. What it looking like? Looking like it flip across. We don't use the word flip in this level again. Flip is for little children and things to see. What do we use? It's a reflection. Now they said describe fully. So if I write reflection, I might get 1 mark. So it is a reflection. You can't use the word mirror. Graduate now, man. Use reflection like you went to school and you was in class and you wasn't ducking class and going in drama class and art class and all. Let's be ducking. Who duck maths and going in drama? Or you're going in art, or you're going in the cooking room? This line that I'm trying to draw here, but the diagram isn't ready to scale, so I kind of freehand it. It's a special line. Who knows what this line is? Who knows what this line is? Big up Mr. Godney, drama teacher. I know some of these schools is be running. Y equal X. Drama teachers, they need to stop hoarding these children when they duck in class. Somebody say it's called the mirror line. Yes, but more specifically, this is a very popular line called Y is equal to X. Because everywhere along this line, Y is equal to X. See how the 5 line up with the 5, the 6 line up with the 6? AKA Y equal X. This line going and show up in your exam somewhere. There are plenty places it could show up. So Y is equal to X is a popular line. So this is a reflection in the line y is equal to x. Do you want me to pause for 5 minutes and talk about transformation or go forward? Let me see. Survey time. Pause for 5 minutes and talk about all the types of transformations in terms of what you need to see. And I'm going to teach whole transformations. They're on YouTube already. You can look it up. But if you want, get a little pause and talk, a little quick briefing. Transformation briefing. Incoming transformation briefing. Transformation briefing. Well, in CXE, there's 4 types of transformation that is tested. What are the 4 types? And you need to know how to describe them properly. Why I write it like this? Why I get no space? What are the 4 types of transformation tested? So in your mind map for transformation, you have 4 types. And it's actually a pretty intensive topic. I have a workshop on transformation that's free right now. You could just go online and search it up and you could learn it in an hour. The 4 types, well, we already see reflection. That's the easiest type of transformation, actually. Reflection, actually, translation was the easiest one. Just segue you down there, boy. You could line with the big boys. Translation is probably the easiest one. Translation, reflection, then it gets more. Rotation is the toughest. In terms of the most things to describe, enlargement is like this. So when you're reviewing them, you need to know how to do it. You need to know how to identify it. You need to know how to draw it. You need to know how to create it. You need to know how to use a ruler. You need to know how to use a compass with it. A lot goes on there. And they are pounding this right now. You can't go wrong learning this. CXE, if all you didn't bring this, all you can make me look bad, but you're bringing it for the last 10 people. So I'm telling the children that right now, right? That's the trend. There's a big trend. They're really loving this right now. Somebody loved this in CXE. So there's a lot to learn here, but what I wanted to pause and point out is if you're describing it to describe, right? To describe it, you need to use, in this case, a vector, xy. That's called a vector. So you need to say how much you move it horizontally, how much you move it vertically. With reflection, so that's one thing you just say translation. Reflection, you say 2 things. You say, just now, So you say, you have to say the name, you say translation, then you say the vector. Reflection, you say that it's a reflection, and then you state the equation of what you all call the mirror line just now, because the mirror line can be anything, or the axis of reflection, or the line of reflection, equation of the line of reflection. So that's what you state when you're describing reflection. What do you need to describe when you're talking about, yes, I will post the video afterwards. What do you need to say when you're talking about enlargement then? When you're talking about enlargement, what do you need to say? With enlargement, you need to say 2 things. Well, you need to say it's an enlargement, but you also need to say the COE, what that stands for. The center of enlargement. You need to stay where that is. That's like a point like XY. It's usually the origin. Hint is usually 0, 0, usually. And then you need to say how much you enlarge it by. What's that? Scale factor. Well done. Well done, Princess. Yeah, people know the thing in the chat, you know, scale factor. Well done, Anika. Well done, Lavish. And then what you need to say for rotation. Rotation is 3 things. Sometimes 2, but usually 3 things. So yes, you still need to say center of rotation. Center. I'm spelling center different every time. Center of rotation. So that's 1, which is usually the origin here too. Hint, but sometimes you're bringing it all over the place. Yes, I'm not even tell you that. Hey, it's not SEA time now. SEA students are go and sleep now, man. It's CXE. I don't have the SEA students out late. These CXE students will be out late anyhow. So I must be interrupting them on their call at duty time. So it's good things are doing here, stopping you from wasting time. So mock exams is this week and you wanted to play games. Center of rotation. What else you need to state? You need to say whether it's anti-clockwise or clockwise. Very good. Anti-clockwise or clockwise. That's what I mean when I say ACW, right? Anti-clockwise or clockwise. And the last thing you need to say is the angle. Well done, Lavish, Bushes, and more, right? So the angle. So you need to see how much angle you turn. Clear? So that's just a little hint on where this is going. You need to go and revise it. Translation, you take something and you just slide it down using a vector. Reflection, you take something and you reflect it in a line. For example, this looking like the line x is equal to something. Let's say x is equal to 10. You need to state that line, the equation of the line of reflection. In enlargement, you need to see what point it's being enlarged from and the scale factor. So you might say it's enlarged from the point 0, 0, and the scale factor is 2. All of this ringing a bell? Or were you duck in class when Sue was teaching this? So miss. And rotation, you need to say the center of rotation. So let's say this is the y, this is the x, and you have a triangle like this. And I'll come into a close on this. I'm going to go back to the questions. And let's say you have A, B, C. Spin this down, you get A, B, C, like this, right? So what is that? That's a 90-degree rotation about the origin in a clockwise direction. So you see, you have to see these three things. Very important. Big topic here. Spend some time on this topic. They're really hitting this. All right, let's go back. On the diagram above, draw the image of shape T, which is not there right now. An image of this shape, and we're going to name it M. After it undergoes a translation by the vectors. Translation, you see? That's one of the types of transformation. And by the vector, negative 1, 6. So let's go find T and translate it negative 1, 6. Now, let's just describe this negative 1, 6. What do you think that means? The negative here, this is the horizontal, right? This one talks about the horizontal, the x. This one talks about the vertical, the y. What do you think this negative means? It means go to the, move into the left, move into the left. And this positive 6 means going up. So you're going to move it 1 to the left, 6 up. You with me? 1 to the left, 6 up. Well done, well done. I've seen real people saying that. Real people saying that. So we move. What you want to do is target 1 point. Target 1 point. Some people slip out. We can pray for them people who ducking out. But big up to the people who have the energy to grind. So this is a point here. We're going to go across 1 to the left. And then go 6 up. Are you with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, once I'm pretty sure about that point, so I go 6 up. 1, 2, or I could say 1 plus 6 is 7. And 2 minus 1. Yeah, you see what I do there? I could use the numbers to help me. Once I'm sure about this point, I could kind of just figure out this shape now. Yeah, that making sense? You'll see I just figure out the rest of the shape by just kind of vibing it. Because I know how this shape is. If you're cooking, you can feel free to tap up some likes on this stream. I mean, I don't really have any like goals on TikTok. I just want to reach 200,000 followers. That doable. Talk to your friends and tell them to follow. Let me see the 200 sometime now, please, in my lifetime. So T went to M. I think we good there. Label this M. We went across 1 and we went up 6. Let's just double check another one of the points. Let's just double check this point. So go across 1, go up 2, 3 plus 6 is 9. It works. See that? So this is called the image. This is called the object. We cook it. You get it? 1 mark. The disgusting boy. Oh gosh. 1 mark for that. And you go on. We finish. Next question. Well, we reach question 4, so it's a long night. I spend it real long on the questions and grinding through. So we might be here 2 o'clock, 2 a.m., but I small thing it. You come on a big live like this to see 6, 7, boy. Big hardback. Youth like you, Nishana. It had 6, 7 anywhere here for you to be seeing. All it doesn't fed up say that. I feel like if you're in Form 5, you're not supposed to be saying that still. You saying 6, 7, yeah? You are a bottle of milk and thing. You probably still in Pampers. A rectangle PQRS has a diagonal PR where P is the point negative 3, 10 and R is the point 4, negative. Let me just block this person. Apparently we have some Pampers warehouse here. Let me just give them a little ban. Now you can comment on my channel again. You have to go and make a next email address and all kind of thing. Why are you doing yourself that? This person can't even write the 6-7 properly. They write 6-7-7. For sure, Pampers. A rectangle PQRS has a diagonal PR, where P is the point -310 and R is the point 4 -4. Calculate the length of the line PR. I don't know what they're saying here. I need to start back thinking. I'm drawing the rectangle, right? What they're really saying here. PQRS. Now, if you're labeling a rectangle, you have to go in a circle. Never do this. PQRS. In case anybody never tell you that. That's an illegal move. That's an illegal. Hey, let me take that person's thing from off my screen. I can't believe I had them getting fame up there, boy. PQRS. Don't do that. That's wrong. That's wrong. Yeah, don't do PQ and you're going in a circle. RS. Or wherever you want to go in a circle. PQRS has a diagonal PR where P is the point -310 and R is the point 4. This isn't making no sense. 4 -4. Yeah, it's making sense, boy. It's making sense. 4 -4. No, it's not making sense. I should put P up here. I should put P here and R up there. Let's draw this. Let's relabel this. I'm just watching the points now, trying to help you visualize it. So I should put P here because I see -4, which is lower than 10. And R is here. Am I doing this correct? P is 10. And I add it in the right spot. I overthinking. So PQRS or PQRS, maybe the other way around. Calculate the length of the line PR. We just need to get the length of this line. But we don't need to go through all of this. I was just kind of helping you all to visualize where it's at. P is -310 and R is 4 -4. How do you get the length of a line? That's a formula. Length of a line is one of the most bulky formulas in coordinate geometry. Do you want me to pause again and show you the formulas in coordinate geometry, or that is too much of a grind? Just go forward or pause and quick briefing. A quick briefing, another quick briefing on coordinate. Pause and show you all the formulas in coordinate geometry. All you feel this is the who. All you trying to learn the who. All you trying to do in 1 year what you didn't do in 1 night, what you didn't do in 1 year. Alright, so coordinate geometry. Quick briefing on coordinate geometry. There's some formulas still in. Let's go through some of them. M. What does M stand for? What does M stand for? There's this general form. What is this general form stuff about? So that's later on, you really talk about this. But formulas, you work with this one first. Then there's this formula where we have like xy is equal to x1 plus x2 over 2 y1. Well, ever see this one before? It's one of the weirdest. The only formula in the CXC is a comma in it. What is that formula about? And then this is the formula that I was looking for. This sign means modulus or the magnitude, which in this case we're talking about length. There's a big square root that goes right there. Then you put x1 plus x2. Sorry, I'm doing this wrong. You put x2 minus x1 to be squared. Then you add y2 minus y1 to be squared. So this formula is length of a line. This formula is midpoint. See if you get them correct. And this formula is gradient. This is the general form for the equation of a line. Maybe we'll get to see how this is used. But which one we was looking for? This fella, we was looking for you. So let's go back up to the question now. That's a little quick briefing on the formulas for coordinate geometry. So the length of the line is really the square root of x2 minus x1, and that needs to be squared. Now this is based from Pythagoras' theorem. I don't have the time to explain why, but I did in class for those of you all who are in class. x2 minus x1. Now we could go and just call up the x2s and x1 now. Hold up there, my brother. X1, Y1, and let you be the X2, Y2. Does it matter if I call this one X1, Y1 and this one X2, Y2? It don't matter. It don't matter. It would have worked out to be the same thing. The magic of mathematics. So you get 4 minus negative 3. Watch out for them signs that they're trying to kill me out here. 4 minus negative 3, because minus there, and then it had a negative on the 3. And you square that up. Plus negative 4, that's Y2, minus 10. Sure. Don't mind if I do. So now I can put this whole thing in my calculator and just come out unscathed. Here now. Let's just put the whole thing in the calculator. I mean, I don't have time for them and they shenanigans. So 4, and I'll switch it up. Minus, plus or minus is a positive. So this is really 4 plus 3 to be squared, which is really 49. I could do that in my mind. Plus, what's the next one? Negative 4 minus 10 is really negative 14, right? To be squared. Bang. So 7 root 5. Hold on. Them want them surds? They may look like them interested in those surds, you know. But this is 7 root 5, which is really equal to, and remember what I tell y'all, you can press this button. You get 15.7 to 3 significant figures. 15.7, is this centimeters? Units to 3 significant figures. They don't have a unit, so with length is customary out of respect, we just write units. Why do it myself? Why supposed to be sleeping, rock back, watching a little Netflix and chill with my Wi-Fi out here teaching all your maths on TikTok? determine the equation of the line PR. What's the equation of the line PR? Oh, we're going to use the next one here, people. Line up, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to use the next one, our equation of the line time. It's always a good time when you get to use that. Well, to get the equation of the line, you need 2 things. You need the gradient. And sometimes they just get the gradient straight up. We don't have the gradient here, but we can figure it out. 3 marks. And then you need to substitute it in this equation. And when you substitute it, you wouldn't know C, but you'll be able to figure out C. You wouldn't know C, but you'll be able to figure out C because everything else will be provided. Y, M, X. You figure out C and then you write it back. So let me proceed. Remember the formula for M? What it is? What is it? Try to recall it before I type it. Try to think about it. What goes next? X2 minus X1. Too late. Write it already. So now it's going to be, we can use the same Y1 and Y2 because it's the same line, right? PR, yeah, it's the same line. So you're going to be like, okay, fine. Negative 4 minus 10 all over 4 minus negative 3. That's negative 14 over 7. Hey, negative 2, boy. Don't kill me here. It will call nice. Sometimes it's get weirdness happening here. Yeah, there's another equation that I showed you all. Anybody know about this equation? X minus X1 is a fancy equation that you can use. This was my go-to when I was your age. But I'm teaching it this is what I prefer to teach, but I'm teaching it this way because most students in the Caribbean learn it that way, where you substitute and find the C. But if you know the other method, like my boy or my girl, I don't know what it is, but my person, Vinasha, maybe boy, maybe girl. If you know that other equation, feel free to use the equation, right? So we got negative 2, and we substitute. Well, we just need to find a y and an x to substitute. We have 2 to pick from. Choices. So we're going to pick this one. Negative 310. It could be anyone, eh? It still work out. The magic of mathematics. So it'll still work out. So you're going to substitute y as 10, and m, we just figured out that was negative 2. X is negative 3 in this case, plus c. Now, don't be trying to use a y from here and an x from there. That's cross-pollination. We're not doing that. Yeah, you need to stick to 1 point. Stick to 1. That's a message for you. Stick to 1. So you get 10 is equal to 6 plus 4. Well, c is 4. 6 plus something make 10. C is 4. Or 10 minus 6 is 4. So c is 4. So therefore, the equation of the line, we just figured it out. You're going to write it back and write in the constants. What are the constants? Y equal mx plus c. You're going to write back the y, write back the x, but the constants are m. M is negative 2. We just figured that out. And we locked down c just now, plus 4. That's the answer. How you all feel about that? Are we cooking? Oh yes, let me go and check and make sure I was doing the right thing all along. We get 15.7 just now, and negative 2, and y equal negative 2x plus 4. We cooking. We cooking. No mistakes were made. So, isn't C negative 4? No. 6 plus what number gives us 10? 6 and 1 make 10. 6 and 4 make 10, not negative 4. That is it? Alright, so you're going into functions now, which can come in question 4. Everybody took a look at the breakdown video that I had? Press like, press subscribe. Those of y'all who are on YouTube, on TikTok are sharing some real bombs, but I really don't want you to join TikTok. If you delete it, anybody delete TikTok because it's too distracting. What to do, boy? Well, I think I will post the videos that I post on TikTok and YouTube to help you out. Did I put 4 negative 4? Plus C? No, it's plus 4. Y equal negative 2x plus 4. Won't it be negative because they bring it across? Or maybe you didn't understand. I do a fasting here. Alright, so let me show you. It's 10 minus 6 is equal to C. Bring across the 6, it's 10 subtract. So you get 4 is equal to C. And I could say C is equal to 4. If 4 equals C, C equals 4. If I carry the 10 across this way, it will be 6 minus 10, so I get negative 4. But then when I bring across the C this way, I get negative C is equal to negative 4. So C is still equal to 4. So yeah. Functions time. Find, no, not sleep time yet. We're going down. Right down till we light up. Find in its simplest form an expression for f of x minus 2. Okay, so we just need to substitute x minus 2 anywhere we see x. Anywhere we see x, replace it with x minus 2. That's what I mean. That's substitution. I could do that. I could do that. Watch me work. Watch me work. So this is going to be 3. Replace the x with x minus 2 plus 1. Distribute. So you get 3x, 3 by negatives. Hey, Josan, you good? Plus 1. Good to see you, Josan. Keep it up. The reward will be great. So you get 3x minus 5. Yes, this topic is called functions. Functions now. Start to boil our coffee. Brew our coffee. We're going. What's next? Functions is be real nice. How many of y'all is look forward to the functions? We now need to get g of 3x plus 2 and then add 10. Let's do it right here. Remember, g of x means square the x. We're going to do a next binomial squared. It means square whatever there. So if I said g of 3x plus 2, let's just do this part. Forget the 10 for now. That means take the 3x plus 2 and square it. You all see that? You're replacing whatever you see here with what the x is there. So like x is squared here, so replace it with 3x plus 2 to be squared. And I showed you all the shortcut for this. You could go and do it the long way, but those of you all who are here from early, the shortcut is 3x squared, so that's 9x squared, 2 squared, so that's 4. And then you say 2 by 3 is 6 by 2 is 12. So 2 by 3x by 2. So you'll have 3x by 2, 6x times 2 is 12x. That's the shortcut for expanding that. So that's what that is. So now this only is piece of the puzzle, right? That's this piece of the puzzle here. So therefore, this is really 9x squared plus 12x plus 4. So I replace this part and then I add 10. Yes? Then I add 10. So I have the first piece here and I have the second piece here. And then I simplify. Let's see if we can just cake and ice cream this down here. So now this is going to be, I mean, this is just one thing to write after. The 4 and the 10 will add up to give you what? Plus 14. Somebody just asked me if I didn't want for Spanish. In all my years on YouTube, I don't think anybody ever asked me if I'm teaching a crash course in Spanish. Now, I do a lot of subjects on YouTube. I've done a lot. I've done like IT, bio, geography, chemistry, physics, maths, pure maths. a lot. Technical drawing, anything that leads up to mechanical engineering, I could do. But although I did Spanish in school, I'm not about that life. Spanish could stay righty, but not for you. 1 minute, right? Mock exam. What is call it? Orals coming up. What's the mode here, people? We in number 5. How you want me to teach Spanish if I don't know Spanish? You want to fail? See, correlated me. So do what with Spanish, please. You didn't just hear that say I don't know this Spanish. You know, I get in Spanish, that's the only subject I get a 2 in. Everything else was what? I got 2 in Spanish, I write it in Form 4. And I was very proud of that 2. That 2 was just pure crap. I probably shouldn't tell her this, but pure crabbing. Because we teacher didn't come for like 3 years. What's the answer here? What's the mode? You notice we get what's a different answer for mode. Number of words 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Spelled correctly. And the frequency. So you spell. Ooh, this is a tricky one. See if you can figure out what the mode is. What is the mode? So the mode means most occurring, most repeated thing. What is the most repeated thing? Well, think of it like some of you all said everybody's agreeing on 5. Some people saying 8. 5 or 8. 8 is a misunderstanding. So 5 is the answer, but it's not bad that you said 8. If you said 2, that's bad. If you said 8, that's bad. If you said 10, that's bad. Well, if you said 8 and you was thinking this 8, that's bad. This 8 is not that bad. But the answer is 5. 8 students spell 5 words incorrectly. The most repeated thing is 5 words spelled. What is spelled as spelled? Spelled incorrectly or correctly? Correctly. Why I read incorrectly? So the most repeated thing is 5 words spelled correctly. 8 times that happened. 4 times they spell 6 correctly. 2 times 7. 2 times 8. 3 times 9. 4 times they spell 10 correctly. So the most occurring thing is 5, not 8. 8 is how many times it happened. Most of you all can tell the mode very easy. Like if I do this. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 8, 16. What's the mode here? Anybody could just watch that and see that the mode is what? What is the mode? The mode is... What is the mode? The mode is 2. So anybody can watch this and see the mode. You wouldn't tell me the mode is 3. But that's why you just tell me if you said 8 just now, that's why you tell me just now. No? The 2 happened 3 times. But the mode is 2. It happened 3 times, but the mode is 2. You understand the difference I'm trying to say? The 5 happened 8 times. It doesn't mean 8 is the mode. It happened 8 times, but the mode is 5. Let's move on. Median. How do we get the median now? How do we get the median? So you kind of need to visualize what's going on here. The number of words spelled correctly, 5 words spelled correctly 8 times. Then 6 words spelled correctly 4 times. Kind of hard to explain this in a short way. I need to go long. I'll have the energy for me to just spend 2, 3 minutes to explain like what's going on here for the people who wouldn't catch it one time. Let's say I'm doing a very quick thing here, right? 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 6, 6, 10, 11. What is the median? You all remember how to get median? Cross, 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 cross. Let's say it had one more. Let's say it had one more tree because I want it to be exact, right? You get cross, cross, bang, median. It must be in numerical order though. So there's another way you could say n plus 1, half of that. Half of the n plus 1 term. So you count out all the terms, add 1 and divide by 2. And you find that term. But I just want to show you this idea. Now, if I had it in like a kind of semi-grouped kind of setting here, I had that there were 2 2s and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3s, and then there were 2 6s. You catch what I'm going to say here, and then there was a 10, 1 10 and 1 11. If I want to cross it out, I kind of have to visualize across the 11 and across one of the 2s, this 2 here. So it still have one more 2. Or I could put little dashes here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 1. So across one of this, cross one of that. This, 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 this. That's still in the tree, so that's that tree there. I can explain that a little more and I can break it down for everybody, but I need to go forward. Otherwise, we here whole night for real. So what I'm going to do is say like 4 is gone, and I'll cross out 4 out of this, so I still have 4 remaining. 3 is gone, so I can cross out 3 out of this, I still have 1 remaining. 2 is gone, so I'll cross out 1 out of this, and cross out 1 out of this, so I have 3 remaining. Where do you think the median going to be? I can real close here to the median. If I cross 2 here, I'll cross 2 here, and I'll still have 1 remaining. That 1 is the median. So the median is number 6. The median is not the 1 there. The median is 6. The median is 6. That's a tricky question, eh? Median is a simple idea, but these kind of grouped data questions with median, students take a while to understand it. So make sure you go and review this. Calculate the mean number of words spelled incorrectly. So the mean of group data, mean of grouped data. Go look that up on my YouTube channel, look it up on ChatGPT, look it up all over, look it up in your textbook, in your notes. This is a big idea that is trending right now. The mean of grouped data. That's what we are about to do. That's what we are about to shell down here. So let me show you the method for this. Maybe you know, maybe you don't know. If you don't know, you're going to know. We are trying to paste this thing, but give me a chance. Peace. So you start off with a table. Usually the table is written vertically, but this time it's horizontally. So this is the number of words, and this is the frequency. Oh, jeez. Oh, yes. So you could call this the X, the quantity. You could call this the F. Who knows the next thing? Look, people putting it in the chat. Big up Tanisha, big up Vinasha. Your next thing is Fx. You need to multiply the number of words by the frequency. Now what Fx means? This is not f of x. Give me a chance. Give me a chance. That function is stats. So Fx. So let's do that real quick. 40. 6 4s are 24. 7 2s are 14. 8 2s are 16. 9 3s are 27. 40 here. And right after this, do this. What this means, people? Somebody in the chat tell me what I mean. Yeah, tell me what I mean. We also want this. You see this symbol? That means sigma. And not the brain rot sigma stuff. That is sigma for maths for real. Sigma here means sum. We want the sum of all of that. So yeah, we want to add up all of that. Nobody has time to add up mentally when we brain done juiced out right now. Actually, it wasn't that bad, and I feel like I could have handled this. That's 27 plus 40. How much you get? 161. So 161. Yeah, sigma fx, sum of fx. And then what is the sum of f? I think they probably told us in the question. The table below shows the number of students. Nah, they didn't tell us, so we need to add it up. 8 and 4 and 2, 6 and 8 and another 5, 23. I get 23. Oh yes, Father, give me the strength. How much y'all get when you add this up? 12, 18, no, 25, 23, 23. So the answer for the mean is sum of fx over sum of f. So this is 161 over 23. Did that work out to be exactly 7? 7 3s 21? Yeah. That works out to be exactly 7. They don't normally be squares, work out to sometimes we had that decimal. 7 words. Now, all of these things have units. The median is 6 words. And this one, the mean is 7 words. So we just do something here that's a whole lesson. This is a whole lesson. Make sure you research it. I'm giving you the names of the topic to go back and research it if you're weak in it. Mean of group data. Anybody energy running out? We crossing the half mark here. Half mark. The attendance officer at a particular school recorded the time t in minutes taken by. So this is a cumulative frequency curve. Yes, it is a cumulative frequency curve. And what we want from this? I don't know. I mean, just wrote. Using the cumulative frequency curve, find an estimate of the number of students who took at most 32 minutes to travel. Do you know how to do this kind of question? All right. Our next 40 minutes pass. I'm going to take a 30-minute standing up again. It's had to change it up on yourself. You find your energy running out. Start to walk around the house, take a stretch, drink some water. We in this to win this. I cannot be showing more dedication than you, and you had to do the exam, right? I ain't looking good. And I have some age on me. You young. The number of students who took at most 32 minutes to travel to school. 32 minutes to travel to school. 32 is right here. I did this kind of graph already. That's 32, 34, 36, 38. Now when I draw this up, it hits the graph, bang, I call that touch the road. Touch the road. Touch the road. Come back across here. Hold on, 30 to 40. This 40 to 60. This one counting even worse. Zoom in on that director. And I realize this went 20. So this is this means every one of this is 4. I have 44, 48, 54, 56. You all agree? That's 56. So is that the answer? Let me see. Let me see. From graph. 32 minutes. Lines up. 56. What is students? Now let's analyze what the question wants. The number of students who took at most 32. Yeah, that's the answer. Everybody under 56 students here took less than 32 minutes. That's what that means. This is 32 minutes. 56 students took up to 32 minutes. So at most 32 minutes to travel to school, we had 56 students. We cooking. I think the pot's starting to bubble here again. The pot is, all you can see the graph. But you see the important part of the graph. I'm not showing you the whole graph because, well, that's the important part of the graph. Take a look at the graph then. Some people say they're not seeing the graph good. How much I get? 56. Counting by 4, right? Is either 56 or 52. Let me just erase my line and see if I cheat my line there, why? Oh, shucks. It could have been 52, you know. Could have been 52. I don't know. Maybe 52, 54. What do you think? What do you think? See, are they trying to make the thing land on the line next time now? Maybe 52 is a better answer. Maybe 52 is a better answer. I think 52 is better, to be honest. It's looking more 50. Looking more 54-ish if I need to be real accurate. And the interquartile range. So interquartile range. Once again, I have to take a vote because this is our next segment and it depends on how much energy you all have. I mean, at 400 students here reach 317. And I don't know if we can reach under 200 by the time the paper done. So you all want me to take a little while and just give a little recap on interquartile range or just go forward? Recap interquartile range or go forward? We know, see, some people say it's Q3 minus Q1. That's correct. Recap. Your wish is granted. Interquartile range recapped. Well, in statistics, just imagine if I took the age of some students here and I had the age was like 4, 3. Let's go in order. Let me not mess it up, right? Let's say I had 3, 4, 4. These some young students, but 5, 6, 7, 11s, 3 11s here, 20. Let's just see how much students I have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's just put in one more student for kicks. 25. So we have a wide range of students here. Maybe they're learning to swim. There's a swim class here. All ages. And if I ask you for the median, what is the median? So introducing introducing the median. Hey, don't ask when we ending. Just lucky, my brother. We ending 12 o'clock. So what does it mean? You can do the crossout thing, but it's time to graduate. Let me help you graduate. That's the mean there. Well, let me big boy it up here now. Let me get a little older. We older now. Well, the mean is called Q2. Fancy name, Q2 boy. Q2. And the Q2 here stands for second quartile or middle quartile and is equal to half of n plus 1 term. So what in the world does all of that mean? Well, the n here stands for that number. How many items you have. Do you need to learn this? Yep, you do. You might as well learn it now. So there's 11 terms here. That's the nth term. How does helping me find the median? I already know the median is 7 because we cross and we get 7. But how is this help? Well, this is telling you where the median is. If I plug it in this formula, I'll get where the median is. Okay, half of 11 plus 1. 11 plus 1 is 12. Half of 12 is 6. The sixth term is the median. Ta-da! Do you understand the formula now? So this formula tells you the location of the median. Are we cooking? Just raise up my camera a little bit. Sort out yourself the camera. Don't move too much. You can show the people in my room. It's kind of untidy right now. So there's another formula. Introducing Q1. So what do you think Q1 is? Q1 is like if you find the median of the lower half. So you see how you find this as the median here? Yes. What about if you ignore this and you just look at this piece of the data? Where's the median? Cross. That's the median. Where the third term is, 4 is the median. So let's see if this formula works. It's the same n, right? A quarter of, let's use it in red, a quarter of 11 plus 1 term. So this is a quarter of 12. So it's the third term. Now it's found at the third term. It's not 3, it's actually 4. It's found at the third term. And introducing Q3. So you never see it like this before. Well, now you know. It's not as hard as and mysterious as you thought it was, right? It's just like median. It's median, but these formulas are pretty useful to help you quickly figure out what's going on. I feel we're not going after 12. You all could safely mark off 12, and we might finish before 12. 11 plus 1, 2. So this is 3/4 of 12. So this is the 9th term. You could work it out. 4 into 12, 3 by 3, 9 term. So it means we can find the median now by watching these terms. The 6th term is 7, the 9th term is 11, and the 3rd term is 4. So this is called the lower quartile, or the first quartile, is 4. The median, also called the middle quartile, or Q2, is 7. And the upper quartile is, in this scenario, 11, not 9. It's located on the 9th term. So go and review this if this is the first time you're seeing this, right? A lot of students, this is like the 3rd time you're seeing this. Some of my students, maybe 3rd, 4th time you're seeing this. So you're getting sharper and sharper in this, hopefully. So yeah, so that's how we find the Qs. And the quartiles divide the data into 4 sets, and it's very useful for high volumes. So this IQR stands for interquartile range, and although it sounds like some big dangerous thing, it just simply means whatever you get for Q3, take it away from Q1, and that's the interquartile range. As simple as that. So we're going to find the interquartile range, Q3 minus Q1. So how do you do it here? You use the same N1 thing, man. Same thing. Watch, I'm going to show you. Q3 is 3, so you have to memorize this formula. 3/4 of the N plus 1 term, right? What's N? N is 220. It's 220 students here. You can see it. It went up to 220. So it's 221. So basically 221. So 3/4 of 221, put that in your calculator. Basically 3/4 of 220 because, I mean, what's that little one when the data is so high? Times 3/4 is 0.75. And we get 165.75, right? 165.75. Which is basically 166. So 166. Remember this counting in fours, that will be in between here. So you go across there. That's Q3. Class, you all understand what I'm saying? Now Q3 is not 165.75. That's where it is located. That's where it is located. Just remember when we did it with the simple example here where segue. Q3 was located at the 9th term. Is it 9? No, it's 11. So I found where it was located when I used the formula. Same thing for Q1. Q1 is 1/4 of the N plus 1 term. So it's 1/4 of 221, which is what? Where's my calculator, boy? 55.25. So 55.252. So I'm just gonna find 55.25. 55 was like real close to 56. So like about here. So that's another reason why I think it's 52. Bang, touch the road, come down. What I looking like? 32, 33 in between. So this is 33. You all following? Everybody locked in? Big shout, major shout outs to everybody who was locked in from the beginning. Major shout outs. Major laser shout outs. So this is 33, right? So that's what really Q1 is. 33. Keep that number in mind. Let's bring down Q3 now. Q3 is really, remember this counting in 2 is 52, 54. So this is 54. So what is the interquartile range again? IQR is Q3 minus Q1. Q3 minus Q1. This is Q3. This is Q1. 54 minus 33 equal 54 minus 33 equal whatever that is. Is that 21? As simple as you see me. As simple as you see me. And you want to put the students, all of these things have units. That's the interquartile range. Class, rate out of 10, how much you all understand that? Is students or minutes? What is it? Is cumulative frequency. Minutes is minutes, yes? Minutes. All right. Positivity. This was our next piece of, this is when CXC announced to the Caribbean that they intend to test probability more difficult, with increased difficulty in the future. So it used to be probability was one of the easiest thing for CXC. Now look at that, positivity. Oh boy. Anyhow, so read the question. Find the probability that she picked the letter I, then the letter V. So this is without replacement, independent events. And just to find that probability, you multiply. So the probability that she picked I on the first draw, first draw, the probability of picking I, how many I's are there? 1, 2, 3 I's. How many letters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 letters. So it's the probability, the number of desired outcomes over the total number of outcomes. Number of desired outcomes, how many I's? 3. Total 10. That's it. So wait, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Without replacement, or with replacement. That's a big thing. Because if it was without replacement, then the total number of outcomes would have gone down because you remove 1. So you're going down to 9. But she put it back. She put it back earlier. So it's back up to 10. So find the probability here. She picks the V. So I didn't even need to write first draw here because it really doesn't matter. It's with replacement. Probability of picking the V is 1 out of 10. Same number of desired divided by 2. There's only one V. There's only one V. So what is the chances of her picking I, comma, V? It's going to be 3 out of 10, and then you multiply by 1 out of 10. So when it's like that, you multiply the events. So in all, you get simply 3 out of 100. 3 chances in 1 out of 100 that you will do that thing. That V mess it up because it's chances of picking a V real hard. That's how you do it, people. That's how you get that question out. Now, I could go a little deeper with this, but I want to go on this surface level. Deeper would be going into add maths kind of probability, which I'm teaching right now in class. Number 6. Yes, you can write it as a percent. Some people have it as a percent. This is or 3% or 0.03. Any one of these will get you the answer, the full marks. We are on number 6 now. Measurement man love he walk. Measurement man love he walk. Let's go. The diagram below shows a gold bar in the shape of a trapezoidal prism. Its volume is 2,886 centimeters cubed. The length and height of the prism are indicated on the diagram. Calculate the area. So only thing that wasn't given was the volume. 2,886 cm cubed of the shaded cross section. So for prisms, the formula runs like this. Volume for a prism, right? Prism is the cross-sectional area by the length or height that you drag it through. That you pull the area, cross-sectional area through. So if the volume is given, and the volume is just move this chord out of the way, and the volume is 2886 cross-sectional area is what we're trying to find, and the length is also given. Hold on, which one is to find the area because this shaded, right? So we were given this 31.2. I hope that thing worked out properly, because they gave us 2 dimensions. I hope them didn't mess this up. So multiply by the length, so you get 31.2. So the cross-sectional area is going to be 2886 divided by 31.2. What's the cross-sectional area here, ladies and gents? Divided by 31.2, and we get a good old number 92.5. So this is 92.5 centimeters squared. 92.5 cm squared, ladies and gents. 92.5 cm squared. How much marks again, man? 1. Gosh, these people stingy with the maths, boy. Lock in the cube. That's it. Or they come back to the trapezoidal bar later on. I thought they just give me this height here and just leave me with that, because that would be suspicious. The cuboid shaped gold bar shown below has the same volume as the trapezoidal prism. So the same 2886. What it was? 2886 cm cube. Calculate the height. Well, this one is even more straightforward, because the volume of a cuboid, for a cuboid, right? What is that equal to? That is just length by width by height. So I'll put 2886. I'm trying to figure out the height. And length times width. So I'm trying to figure out the height. Length times width is 30.6 times 8.2. So I'm just going to bring across those two values, divide. And height is equal to 2886 divided by 30.6 multiplied by 8.2. Put it in your calculator. How many of you all just rock back watching this, but you don't have a book out, you never have a pen out, you never have a calculator out? You're wasting the time. You're already watching it. You might as well put in the effort. In life, when you're doing something, you had to do it. Write that down. Write that down. Write that down. When you're doing something, come on, man, give it 100. You might as well give it 100 because you're doing it already. So why would you do it half-heartedly? Is that what you want to be known for? So you get 11.5. 11.5. I am telling you, that's what's going to set you apart. If you continue that on that trajectory of excellence and you build that into a habit, it's going to spill over into all areas of your life. Before you know it, you have a best wifey and a good job and some happiness. And I mean, life is full of struggles. Right now, it have wars going on here and there, and it have this is not a philosophy class. Only bring it back home. Bring it back home. 11.5 centimeters. 11.5 centimeters. There we go. Back to the trapezoidal gold bar. I really want to know what they want to do with this. The trapezoidal gold bar is melted down, and all the gold is used to make 6 identical spheres. These people really give me this value for no reason. What to them, boy? Anyhow, the trapezoidal gold bar is melted down, and all. That's just a tie me up. CXC, that's not cool at all. Don't ever do that again. Calculate each sphere of gold, its radius. Okay, so 6 identical spheres. So the volume is equal to 2886. And that is for 6 spheres. So one sphere, come on, I know how to do this. I know how to do this. I was ready for this. I was born for this. And just divide by 6, right? All you think about our movements there. 2886 divided by 6 is what? 481. 481. This is not a real classroom, you don't need to tell me. Actually, let me do be rude. The person saying there, somebody telling me they're coming off. You know why you're telling me you're coming off? Because you're feeling guilty. You're feeling guilty and ducking out and leaving us. But big up the last man standing and the last woman standing. Is today's National Women's Day. Shout out to all the women, all the young ladies. So 481 cm3. What are going with this, boy? That's the volume. Cool. That's the volume of one full sphere. But that's not what I want. What they want. That's the volume, right? They actually want the radius. Well, I have the volume. So substituting, they gave us the formula. How kind of them? So it's going to be 481 is 4 over 3 pi. They tell me to use something for pi. They didn't even tell me what to use for pi, boy. They just leave me out in the cold like this. This number divisible by 7 by chance. Let me see 481 divisible by 7. I'll tell you if they really wanted me to use that. No, it's not. So I'm going to use my calculator's value for pi, right? Pi, did they say find it in terms of pi? No, they didn't. R cubed. So if I swing this across, I'll get 3 times 481 divided by 4 is equal, and the pi as well is equal to R cubed. That was a little algebra magic trick there. I'm going to just break that down. Those zone out, you know. They didn't say to use pi as 22/7. Now, you see that anyway? They didn't say that. So I'm going to use my calculator's pi. But you could. If you use pi as 22/7, you won't lose maths. So 3 pi is approximately 22/7. It's not exactly that. Your calculator's pi is more accurate. To break down this, the 4 is multiplying. So when I bring it across, it divided. The 481. The 3 is dividing. So when I bring it across, it multiply. The pi is multiplying. So when I bring it across, it divide. So on one side, I have 3 times, watch out again, pi. I press shift and this number, pi. Amazing, isn't it? That's 3 times pi, and I divide that by, what is it? Not 3 times pi, it was 3 times 481. What am I doing, boy? 3 times 481. I get it. You get this, me type in pi again. 4 pi. Type it in just like I see it. So I get this number. That's what R cube is. So R cube, you all got R cube to be there? R cube turned out to be 114.83. So r is the cube root, which is a little scary that they bring in these tough things. The cube root, normally they try to stay away from roots like cubic roots and things. The cube root of answer, 4.86. So r is 4.86. Did I round that off properly? Yes. 4.86 centimeters. The surface area of a sphere. All right, well, we figured out what r is, 4.86. So we can figure out the area now. So the area is 4 pi r squared. Why did I write it over? Let's just substitute one time. 4 pi and 4.86 squared. Let's put that in our calculator. So 4 times pi times answer squared is 296.88. Well, 296.88 approximately cm squared, which is 297 centimeters to 3 significant figures. 3 significant figures seems fine to me. And we cooking. What was that? Measurement man love he work. So measurement man will not be outdone. I see my partner Leon post a video. Leon, you here? I doesn't get to see who on TikTok because I have this thing, I do have it open that big. I did spot adapt a second ago. Should I give him a shout out? Always get to see, always get to widen this way. I don't have time to wait, so I can't really go and scroll through all these names. Let's keep going. Mass to the nearest kilogram given that the density of gold. The mass for each sphere. Calculate each sphere of gold. Right, it's mass. Okay, fine. They love to give this question. So the density is 19.3. The volume is 2883, and we're trying to figure out the mass. So if I rearrange this, the mass is going to be density times volume. Let's write the normal density. That's physics looking density times volume, call a row. So the density was given as 9.3. The volume is 288. Stop. To the nearest kilogram. They're trying to trap me, boy. Everywhere I go in this life, they're trying to trap me. Yeah. Come on, man. Give me a chance now, man. But don't worry. I was born for this. They're trying to trap me here. This density was given in grams per cm cube. So that means I'm going to get the mass in grams. Sneaky. But they want the mass in the nearest kilograms. Oh gosh, boy. You always have to keep your eyes open in this thing called mathematics. Don't close it at all. 2883. And you get this. 55641.9. 55641.9 grams. To change it to kilograms, it's going to be 55. Bring it across 3 places. 123.6419 kg. And I want it to the nearest kilogram. So it's going to be 50. Oh, I multiplied the wrong thing. 2886. Again tired. These are ages. 55699.8. Fortunately, did not affect my answer. 99.8. Like the final answer was the same. Nine nine eight six. So it's still gonna round off to 56 kg to the nearest kg. Wait, 56 5 5 6, yeah, 56 kgs to the nearest kg. They wanted it to the nearest kilogram. You all got that? Class, we cooking? Okay, so the volume I make a mistake here. This is the first mistake I make in the paper. What's the mistake I make here? Anybody see any mistake? The mistake is in the substitution. Where I get a 2883 number from? 2886 is 2886. It's 2886. Where I get a number from? That was the volume of the entire 6 spheres. The volume of one sphere is 481. So I will never make that mistake in some of the others too. Surface area. No, I put the 481 here. So what make me put 2886 down here, boy? This should be 481 on here. So sorry about that. 481. It happens. 481. 481 times 19.3. Let's see if you can get this thing to cook properly now. 9283.3. 9283.3. And then you get 9.2. Then you get 9 kgs. You'll get 9 kgs. Tick tock, what about earlier? 9 kgs, right? I think so. I think we're looking better there. Moving forward. Number 7. We see in way. This is past half mark for sure. The diagram below shows the first 4 diagrams in a sequence of regular hexagons. Each regular hexagon is made using stick of unit. Complete the diagram. Them really wanted me to draw diagram 5. Oh, they start me off. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they keep adding 2. They're missing 1 here. You're not slick. CXC. I see that one that missing there now. You didn't catch me there. See that one missing there. Use your ruler and don't draw these things catch up like how I draw there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 8, 9. And I need 10, 11. Oh yes, so this is the part of the paper you get a little breather. You come together and you get a bond with the rest of the Caribbean in the drawing process. Let's just draw this a little neater. You're not supposed to be doing 400 line like this. It's supposed to be like one solid line. And you use your ruler. Imagine, all you would believe if I tell you a lot of the Caribbeaners going to the maths exam with no ruler, they have no pencil. Don't let that be you. Don't bring embarrassment upon your clan like that. Upon your name. Put some respect on your last name. I find I'm making this one here too pointy, boy. Oh gosh. Yeah, you get marks for this. There's are 2 marks, so you can't be losing these 2 marks. Like now, good luck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. And then this table is cake and ice cream. So this table was pretty easy this year. This table wasn't too bad at all. The number of regular hexagons, each number of sticks and the perimeter, blah, 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 blah. So what we could do is ignore all that and just kind of look for the patterns. It's going up by 2. So that means you know how we do this. I have a tutorial on this, right? So I'm not segueing on this one. I have real tutorials on this. This is called series and sequences investigation. So this is 2n, but if I put 2 by 1, I get 2. 2 by 2, I get 4. 2 by 3, I get 6. So need to add 1. Only need to add 1. So 2n plus 1. What is this? This is going up by a consistent amount. I'm seeing 8 here, 8 here, 8 here. It's going up by a consistent amount. So that's 8n, right? 8 by 1 plus 7 will get me there. 8 2s are 16 plus 7 gets me there. 8 3s are 24 plus 7. It works. So this is 8n plus 7. You always look to target this row first. Perimeter, what is this? It's going up by 4 consistently. So that's the common difference. So you put 4n. And what's next? 4 by 1 is 4. 4 by 2 is 8. I keep needing to add how much it is. 4 by 3 is 12. I keep needing to add 8 to all of these. So this is 4n plus 8. We cooking. So far, so good. Everybody understand that? If you're a little shaky with that, please go and review it. Those of y'all who sneaking out because you're feeling sleepy and you have an exam tomorrow, fine. But those of y'all who staying, big up yourself. Now this is 4 and 5, so I can just follow suit. Add 2 to this, get 11. Add 8 to this, get 47. Add 4, it's already at 28. Get 2 marks there, boy, and I get 3 marks here. Just collect these 2 now. Well, I need to go backwards. Anytime you have this and you're trying to go to this, remember the magic words. The magic words is equate. Equate is the magic words. 1 second, my wife calling me. Yeah, alive right now. Hello? Hello? No, I'm teaching alive. Just want to know what really going on. I teaching this hour on a Sunday. So so you put 2n plus 1 is equal to 47. Equate, right? So you equate the formula that you discovered with this number here and you're going to figure out what the nth value is. Sweet. So 2n is equal to 47 minus 1 is 46. 2n is equal to that. N is equal to 46 divided by 2. So n is equal to 23. Cooking. So once you figure out this, you can just substitute now into this formula to get a 1. So therefore, P is going to be 4 by 23 plus 8. 4 by 25 is 100, so 4 by 23 could be what? 92. Let's take off 8. So 92 plus, oh yeah, we back up to 100, man. 100, we're looking good. 100, just like we percentage. 100, that's the fastest. All you realize that? How many of you all realize that? That is the fastest 7 marks that we get in the exam so far. And potentially, I spoke about that in the last video that I uploaded on TikTok. Go and watch that video. Skylar says that she can make one of these figures with a perimeter of exactly 105. Well, the perimeter has a formula. So Skylar, you have to take your time. You have to see if you're going too fast, Skylar. Explain why she's incorrect. You see you're incorrect. You need to make sure that n is a whole number when you equate this. So if she is correct, 4n plus 8 equal 1005 will give a whole number. So let's work it out and see what you get, Miss Skylar. For Skylar, 4n plus 8 is equal to 1005. So 4n, it's in looking good, you know. It's in looking good. 05 minus 8. To minus 8 from 9, you get 3 from 1,000. You get 997. And we already seen that 4 not going and going to that clean. Not a whole number. So n is a figure number. N is a figure number. This must be whole. This representing number of figure. They didn't have no like 5.5 figure and 4.21 figure. That be figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We drew figure 1, 2, 3, 4. We drew figure 5. Is there a figure 4.5? No. So from the time she equate this and n turn into a fraction or a decimal, forget you and your thing by Skylar. You're failing. Number 8. So you know what I mean? Time for me to sit down again. Stand up, sit down. Stand up, sit down. Yep, that's correct, Tanisha. And that has been asked. That has been asked many times. What is the best order to do the paper? I try to answer that question in a TikTok video, but I don't. There's only one question that I recommend that you always look at first. Those of y'all who heard me say it already, tell Stay for Life. I like that name, boy. Stay for Life. That means she here till the end, or he or she. Tell them what is the one question you look at immediately when you open the paper because you have been revising it the night before the exams or 2 nights before the exams hard and you just want to You know the thing, boy. That, like you're from a class. That is it, righty. That question. Always. As soon as you open the paper, go check that question one time. For TikTok people, all you know, seeing what they say on YouTube, they said circle theorems. That's it. That's after that you go in order, but don't let the question spook you. This paper is very hard in the beginning, but it starts to get easy from now. G of 2. G of 2 is, notice how the question 7 was very straightforward. F of, this is pretty straightforward too. Maths running here. 5 minus 4 is 1. Look at that. That's 1. Imagine if you had to say like this paper too hard and you give up. F inverse of 3. F inverse of 3 means 3 is now the answer. That's a little shortcut I'm going to show you. So if they say F inverse of 3, just put 3 here and equate it to that. So therefore, 3 is equal to 2x minus 1 is equal to 3. Shortcut. There's another way to do it. Look it up. So you get 9 is equal to 2x minus 1. Bring across to 1. You get 9 plus 1 is equal to 2x. So you get 10 is equal to 2x. So therefore, what is x? 2 times something is 10. X is 10 divided by 2 is 5. X is 5. And you can substitute 5 in this. 5 by 2, 10 minus 1 is 9 divided by 3 is 3. And that's how you can see if I substitute 5 into the f of x machine, I get 3. So if I take 3 and I run it in reverse, f of inverse of 3, I expect to get 5, and that's what I just did. That's the shortcut. Cake and ice cream. Now you all know there's another way to find f inverse. Let f of x equal to y. Interchange variables, make y the subject of the formula. So you could go and research that method. But when they give you a number inside here, it gets easier. You can just equate and get the answer. Very nice. Derive an expression in simplest form for f. Wow. Good marks pass in here, boy. Healthy marks pass in here for straightforward ideas. So 2x minus 1 over 3. G of x was what? 5 minus x squared. Yes, sir. So we want f g of x. That means since g is closer to the x, you're going to take this, and anywhere you see x and f, replace it. So I can write it like this. I can say f g of x really stands for f, and instead of g of x, put 5 minus x squared. Because that's what g of x is. G of x is 5 minus x squared. So anywhere I see x in f of x, I'm going to replace it with 5 minus x squared. Is that making sense? So I'm going to get 2, and instead of putting x, 5 minus x squared, minus 1 over 3, multiply. 10 minus 2x squared minus 1 over 3. 10 minus 1 is? Let's do it here. 9. Wait. Now suspicions that turn into 9. 2x squared over 3. Simplest form. So they really want me to break down that. So that's going to be 3 into 9. I can do the 3 into 9, but I'll also have to do 3 into this. So watch carefully. This is a little sneaky. 3 into 9 is 3. 3 into negative 2 is negative 2 over 3x squared. So this is the simplest look that you can get. Class, rate out of 10, how much you all understand this? So the question 8 compared to like question 2 started off really easy. Really easy. That was sweet. That was sweet. That was 5 marks. That came about pretty nice too. Question 7 was nice as well. Sketch graph of the function is face varied and you sketch indicate the maximum minimum point. Which graph? Which graph? Function g of x. Oh geez, g of x. So where's g of x? I forget. It's something like 1 minus x squared or 3 minus x squared. 5 minus x squared. 5 minus x squared. So remember, this is a quadratic because it has the x squared, but when the a is negative, the curve in the quadratic looks like this. So you get what we call a maximum point. So we can do some things. We can do some things, ladies and gentlemen. We can substitute x is 0. We can substitute g of x is 0 and find some stuff. Then we can substitute a bunch of points. Oh yes. Now notice they give us a grid, so we need to draw it to scale. So let's substitute x is 0. When x is 0, what is g of x going to be? 5, right? Agreed? So it's going to go up to 5. I feel it. The urge to differentiate and all kind of thing here, boy. The urge is strong. The urge to differentiate is strong. How much marks it is? Let me see what they want you to do. You need to get a minimum point. So there's a few ways you can get the minimum point. Which method you all want to use to get the, sorry, not minimum point, it's maximum. What methods you all know we can use to get the maximum point? Oh yes, father. Now the roots are symmetrical. So let's get the roots. The roots is going to help you real fast. So the roots is found when g of x is equal to 0. In other words, when 5 minus x squared is equal to 0. In other words, minus x squared is equal to negative 5. In other words, x squared is equal to 5. In other words, x is equal to the root of 5. And you can put that in your calculator. Square root of 5. And it's plus or minus, 2.23. So plus or minus 2.23. So x is either 2.23 or negative 2.23. Yes? 2.24, my bad, 2.24. And that gave me a big clue there. Seeing that the maximum point is found in between the roots, I am sure that the root lies on the y-axis. The root lies on the y-axis. The maximum point lies on the y-axis. I'm running out of energy. And the maximum point is located when x is equal to 0. That's the max point when x is equal to 0, because it's on the y-axis. The y-axis is x is equal to 0. So when x is equal to 0, g of x is equal to 5 minus 0 squared, which is 5. So we got another point, 0, 5. That's another point right there. Tick-tock. This is a little more advanced, right? This is completing the square and graphs and stuff like that. So I have the 2 points actually. Let's call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I can comfortably sketch this now. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a point there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's put 5 like that. I know this needs to go to 2. So maybe I can say 1, 2, 3. To use as much as the graph as possible. Negative 3, negative 2, negative 1. A little over 2. 1, 2, 3. Just the roots and the maximum point. That's it. Good. This is 0. This is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. I'll probably make it a little tighter. 2.24. So this is 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3. Yes, so 2.24 would be here. So this is one of the roots. And 2.24 will be here. So that's negative 2.24 and that's positive 2.24. And this is the maximum. So they only really wanted the maximum and minimum. Now I could get this graph a little more accurate by substituting negative 1. Or if I substitute 1, 5 minus 1 is 4. So mentally I know that this is a point as well. So I could also substitute negative 2 for, so I know that 1 is a point. Let's substitute negative 3, 9, negative. Ooh, this is going to drop real fast. It's going to go all the way down to negative 4. Real fast. So I just did these other points in my mind real fast. I set this up in the wrong spot. Yeah. To try and get a little idea of how to come up with my curve. So the final drawing of the curve will look like this. Ta-da! That's the curve right there. Now, if you had some problems with this, and I'm sure a lot of persons had problems with this, that is called completing the square. So the knowledge involved in figuring out this is in the topic called completing the square. Now they wanted us to indicate the roots, so I would indicate the roots by saying like this is negative root 5 comma 0, and this is positive root 5 comma 0. If you put the 2.24, that works as well. This is 0.5. So I have shown this. I may also want to write max point here, and x1, x2, x1, x2 are the roots to show that these are the roots, explicitly in showing the roots and the maximum point on the graph. We move forward. At the speed of light, the graph below shows a quadratic function. On the grid, draw the tangent to the curve x is equal to 1. Yes, now I need to just move something on TikTok to show that is me for real. TikTok is me for real. I really am live for 2 hours. And how long? Reviewing. At x is equal to 1, draw the tangent to the curve. So right here. So you need to line up your ruler. Remember, tangent is really a friend zone kind of line. A line that only gets to touch the curve once. So let's draw it red. It doesn't get to go. It doesn't go inside the curve. It just... This should be a straight line. I just join it like this because it's a little miserable to get digitally. So this is your tangent. Use the tangent drawn to estimate the gradient of the curve. So what you're going to do is get 2 points on this. Look, I get a point down here. So this is negative 0.5, negative 4. Do I get any other points? I really don't want to take this point, right? That point a little risky. Look like I might have to take that point, but you're really trying not to take points. And give them points now. What is this? 5. This is also a point here. What is that? Negative 1. No, this is 1. 1.5. So this is 1.5 and 5.2. And we find the gradient formula. We logged in. How do you know how to draw a tangent? A tangent is a line that, like if I have to draw a tangent to this curve, I get a line that touches the curve once. Now, they will have a wide range of values for this because some students might have other interpretations of this. Another student might have a line that looks more like this. Their line pass more like this. Maybe their line pass through the 2. So their gradient would be slightly different. But obviously, you wouldn't get a line like this because watch that cut through the curve. The tangent is not allowed to cut through the curve. It touches the curve and it doesn't go into the curve. So you use the tangent drawn to estimate the gradient. So the gradient m is equal to y2. We did this already for today. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you get 5.2 minus, let's call this y2, right? Minus negative 4 all over 1.5 minus negative 0.5. Put this in your calculator. Tell me what you get, crew who grind until the end. 5.2 minus negative 4. Oh, big up the crew who has been here since the beginning. It's been a pull. We did a lot of revision. I did say it's going to help prepare you for mock exam. So I didn't just want to come and do the paper. I wanted to come and explain some stuff and do some segues. We all get 23 over 5. Is that sounding feasible? 4.6. 4.6. Let me see how much I got last year. 4.6. Last year I got 5. So I guess they probably might take values between like maybe 4.5 to 5.5, any one of those they might accept. 4.6 is the units clear? No, the units is not clear. So 4.6 works by itself. Write down the equation of the tangent, no problem. So this tangent passes through this point. Let's say this point was 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say it was negative 1.8 because it's counted in twos. Negative 1.8. So from graph, C is equal to negative 1.8 and M is equal to 4.6. Therefore, Y is equal to 4.6 is the M, X, and C is negative 1.8. Are we cooking, ladies and gentlemen? That's the go. Now, if you got 5 for this, you put 5. If you got 2 for the M, you put minus 2. That's what I got last year. And just like that, we are going into question 9. Second to last question, ladies and gents. I said the latest is 12 o'clock. We might finish before 11 o'clock. Now, what in the world is this? What in the world is this? So circle theorems is something you want to grind over and over and over and over and over. It's the question that you need to practice the most. You need to practice circle theorems the most. I think I have the best. I might be biased, but I really do think I have the best tutorials on circle theorem on the internet. I had a really good one on TikTok. Mute the audio, it was one of the most watched videos here. So let me show you how like my mind works with circle theorems. I know all the theorems and I can recall all of them on paper, but that's only because I'm a maths teacher. So like if I was your age, I might not have been able to. I might have. But you don't necessarily need to know all the theorems, like to recall them on paper, like write it out. But you should know it that if you spot it, you can regurgitate it. I keep saying that, right? So you know theorems like, if I ask you to name everybody in your school that you know, you might not be able to do that. But if you see them, you might be able to say, I know him, and you say his name. I know her, and you say her name. Circle theorems is like that. So you're supposed to be able to identify that. That comes with practice. For example, I already know that this is going to be 62. Why? Well, there's a theorem that exists that says if you have we call this a chord, you all want me, this is the last segue if you all want it for the night. I'll do a segue on circle theorems, like to go through some of the basic theorems. Or we could go forward. You all know these things. You have been revising your circle theorems. Or we want the segue. Segue. They say yes. Way boy. We have some people real grinding here. I appreciate that. Big up those with the grind. Well, the first term that they usually teach now, no rule says a certain term that come at as term 1 and term 2. Is up to the teacher discretion. But the first term that they usually teach is about this line. What is this line called? It's the largest chord. Because remember, a chord is any line connecting all of these are chords, right? Connecting the circumference. Well, the longest chord is called a diameter. So if you make a diameter and you draw lines that hit the circumference from the edge of the diameter, that angle here will forever be 90 degrees. It doesn't matter if you bring it down like right here. God make this so why? It will always be 90 degrees. So a short way of saying it, or remembering it, is angles in a semicircle is 90 degrees, but angles subtending from the diameter to the circumference of a circle will always be 90 degrees. It's like the long way of saying it. That's one. So there's another theorem that comes right after this. And it's this theorem that, okay, let's say we just have a normal chord. Well, if I do this, and I create this kind of triangle effect, and then I decide, I don't like what I'm looking, let me draw it over and I'm going to draw it up here. Yeah, like about here, so then. You know that angle is the same angle once it comes from the same chord. So the short way I remember this is angles in a common chord are equal from a common chord. But it's angles subtended from the common chord in the same with this segment are equal. Subtended from the chord to the circumference in the same segment. The segment is what happens when you draw a chord. It splits the circle into a minor segment and a major segment. Unless it's a diameter and you just have two equal segments. So those are the segments. Notice how this is in the same segment. Once it comes from the chord and it's in the same segment, them angles equal. That's what I call the Bonnier's rule. And you here see some of my students say that the Bonnier's rule. This is the 90 degrees. There's a Bonnier's. And I'll do one more. I'll do the three most popular ones to get you going. This is actually the thing that I want you to watch out for in the exam. Everybody, as soon as you get the exam, open the paper and see if you can spot this, right? Because this is the sneakiest one that sometimes, it's not the sneakiest one, it's the second most sneaky one that sometimes students leave out. What is this one? Why is in the chat for yes if you all know about this? Why for yes? You all know about this? No, it doesn't need to be a rectangle. It can be any kind of four-sided figure. Four-sided figure is called a quadrilateral. What is the rule with circle terms and quadrilaterals? Open out your rule book, Lee. Your rule book. What's the rules? The rule says that opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. What does that mean? That means like if this is 120, that has to be 60. Supplementary means add up to 180 degrees. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So if this is 95, what is this? What's the next one going to be? I just kind of making sure it's under 90. 85, right? Must add up to 85 and 95 make 180 degrees. So this one is sneaky. Because sometimes they draw the cyclic quadrilateral like this. Sometimes the cyclic quadrilateral not even looking quadrilaterally. You're not even spotting it. And then they have a next thing here. And you're not realizing that these supposed to watch out for this one. It requires a lot of practice. A lot of practice. Have we seen any cyclic quadrilaterals here? No. Right. If I extend this, that's a cyclic quadrilateral right here, right? Well, I don't see no cyclic quadrilaterals there. So I'm seeing that B, according to this chord right here, it's creating two angles. This angle, so angles from a common chord in the same segment are equal. So B is 62, and that's the reason you had put angles from a common chord in the same segment are equal. Let me just copy it because I'm feeling to type all that now, boy. And then they wanted to show angle C is 124. Where angle C is? Ooh, so what is the rule here? This is usually the third rule in circle terms. So I showed you the three most popular. This one usually comes as 4. Number 3 is that one that they just bring there. So once again, if I have a common chord, let's call that common chord here. Make it a little slightly bent. If I draw an angle and it touches the center, if I take that same thing and extend it upwards like this, do you know that this is not bigger? It's actually half an. So like if this is 100, this is 50. That's that theorem. Angles from a common chord to the center is twice the size as the angle from the same chord to the circumference in the same segment. Wow. Do you see that here? And now you see why it will be 124. Because if this is 62 and it comes from that same red chord, a lot of action happening from that ZV chord. And if this is the center, then this will be, C will be twice as big. Why is it in the chat if you see it and you understand it? Now, circle terms is one of the most notorious questions for when your teacher do it, you understand it, but you can't do it for yourself. This is probably the number one question in CXC Maths like that. That, oh, when the teacher do it, you see it and you get false confidence. You're like, I understand it now. No, you don't. You don't. You have to go and do it for yourself. You have to go and do it for yourself. Plenty. As much past papers as you can. Now, I told those who were here earlier, and some of you are here from since then, www.kerwinspringer.com. Write it down. You'll check it after you come off TikTok and YouTube and things. www.kerwinspringer.com. That's where default microphone change, default headphones change, whatever. Are you still hearing me, right? This is where you will go and find solutions. I know going on. Somebody opening their headphones, one of them headphones downstairs and connecting to my device. I hope all you hearing them talking. Are you hearing me, right? Now one of my kids probably opening their headphones downstairs, and I hope all you hearing them talking and screaming. So go on this and get the solutions. All right, so they hear me. Good. And they also wanted to show OVW is 90 degrees. Now, I already start thinking that might be the semicircle term. OVW. OVW. Oh, no, it's not. It's another theorem. So another theorem. You got a bunch of small terms coming in here. This is another theorem. It's not as popular. So if UV, UW is a tangent, then the normal is the radius. So if there's a tangent that hits the circle there, this radius will always be at 90 degrees. The word in maths for that is normal. Anything that is normal, anything that hits something at a normal angle, it means it's 90 degrees. You use it in physics too, that the normal force means at a 90 degrees. So the fact that this is the center and this guy here is a radius and this guy here is a tangent activates that term. So it means OVW is 90 degrees. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a little look at theorems. Oh no, we still have more to go. This was a question at real piece. They want you to find the angle A, angle D, and angle E. A, D, and E. So let's go figure out all of them right here on the diagram. A, D, and E. Which one you all feel you could get? A, D, and E. There's a lot of theorems playing off here. This is a good question to come back and practice for yourself. There's something called the AST. Anybody know what it stands for? It is the hardest theorem to spot. Anytime a question giving you a lot of problems, it's not the hardest to spot, but it's like the toughest theorem then. Anytime a question giving you a lot of problems, look out for it. Not A as in co-interior, no. The alternate segment theorem. Tanisha real know she thinks when Tanisha here a while now. Somebody on TikTok said it too. The alternate segment theorem. The alternate segment theorem works like this. Look how much theorems I get to show you all from this one question. It normally they don't get so much from one question. The alternate segment theorem, actually some of them wasn't any question I just showed you, is it says that if you have a tangent, right? And then you make a chord from the intersection of the tangent. This angle here is equal to any angle you could make in the triangle here. Anywhere you put that angle, it will be equal to that angle. Crazy, right? Anywhere you put that angle. What a beautiful term. Now there's a way to explain this term. I'll explain it in class. Why that happens. It's called the alternate segment theorem. All of these angles are equal to this angle. Let's go back up and see. It's right there. It's right there. This is the chord. This is the tangent. The angle between a chord and a tangent is equal to the angle in the opposite, angle in the triangle in the opposite, or sometimes you use the word alternate segment. So it means that A is also 62 degrees. Cooking. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? That page, well, fighting me down. The next one we need to find is, so that's A is 62. The next one we need to find is D. D, where's D? Can you see how we would get D? Now remember, we already figured out that C was 124. Another theorem appears. We probably knock off all the theorems there. No, it's just missing the theorem with the this one. Okay, look up what that one is about. So this other theorem says if you have the center and you make a radius, and then you make another radius. Actually, they don't really use this as a theorem. They just have like a minor idea with this. Then you will always make an isosceles triangle because it's two radius. This is a radius and this is a radius. So D and this angle are equal to each other. There's another thing we can do. I can figure out what this angle is here by saying A is 62, 62 minus. This is kind of explaining what's going on with the alternate segment theorem. 62, so this is 28, so this is also 28. You catch it? Because this is a right angle. If this is 62, 62 and 28 make 90. And it's an isosceles triangle. So if this is 28, this is 28. Or you can say 180 minus 24. There's usually a lot of ways to find out some of these angles. And you get 56. You get 56. And if you divide 56 by 2, that's these two angles. 56 by 2, 28, 28. So anyway you wanna run it, you need to show that base angles in the isosceles triangle are equal. Daddy's teaching Zio. You come. Zio and all trying to get me offer. We nearly finished by Zio, boy. So here's the reason. Zio want to say hello to the class. This is the people who grinding late in the night right now. Now we're going to look for angle E. Angle E is easy. Well, yeah, we can look at angle E because there's no guarantee that this is an isosceles triangle, but we know every other angle here. We know this is 28, this is 18, this is 62, this is 28. That's the only thing that's missing from the 180 degrees. You just add up all of that and subtract. And you will get 44. If you add up 28, 28, 18, 62 and subtract it from 180, you'll get a missing angle there. All right, it's time to move on to the next question, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just put the work in here. You can always go check it out on my website. Angle between a tangent and radius and 90. So we got the 28, you add up all the rest, subtract it from 180, and we got the missing angle, 44 degrees. The diagram shows a quadrilateral. Calculate the length of QR. Tell me what we're going to use to calculate QR. Come here, come. Well, how are we going to get QR? What rule is that? So they didn't bring bearings this year. Say hello.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hello.
All right, now go find mommy.
Mom.
You want to go by mommy? Yeah, go ahead. So, yes, not SOHCAHTOA. Those who say in SOHCAHTOA, that's ain't happening. Not SOHCAHTOA. You could only use SOHCAHTOA is only for right angle triangles. So yes, it's the cosine rule. Now we need a workshop on. No, did I do a workshop on bearings? A workshop on bearings is coming up. Those of you all in my class, I'm promising that soon. So a workshop on bearings is coming up, so look out for that. But for now, I'm just going to go full speed ahead. Energy done. So we're going to go full speed ahead. So this is B, this is C, this is capital A, this is common A. So we put it in the format like this. B, C, A. And the cosine law says that A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A. So we're going to substitute and we'll be able to figure out this. I kind of visualize the cosine rule as like a guy holding up a stick. And anytime you're trying to find the length of the stick, cosine rule. You know the length of his arms and you know the angle by his head here. A guy holding up a stick and you're always trying to find the length of this stick. That analogy will come in handy in the exam. So look out for that. They're not using SOHCAHTOA, eh? So you get a squared is equal to 16 squared plus 18 squared minus 2 by 16 by 18 cos of 25. And you're going to put that whole thing in your calculator because nobody has time for all of that. 16, let me just move this across so you can see what I type in. 16 squared plus, don't go and multiply 16 squared and work out by yourself a calculator, minus 2. I mean, you know 16 squared is 256 if you're good in maths, but these things you can just hit it up in your calculator. Cos of, what is it, 25? Was it 25? I hope it's 25. Bang. Now, be careful. Be very careful. That first number you get here, what you have to do with this first number? So this is 57.9667147. Gosh, I'm over the whole thing. 57.966. What my calculator going? Just so? Yeah, boom. Because that's a squared. You need to root it. Well done, Tanisha. Well done, Vinasha. So you need to get the square root of your answer. Bang. And you get 7.61 cooking. So A is equal to 7.61. Therefore, QR was really A, right? I just name it A for ease of, I don't want to write QR squared all the time. That's too bulky. 7.61 meters to 3 significant figures. Are we cooking? Cosine rule. So it's what they do is they just throw the cosine rule at you there, bang, take cosine rule. But normally it comes in bearings. Normally it comes in bearings. And you have to work out some angles and things first. Does this happen every night? No, you're trying to kill me. Well, I do teach almost every night, but I teach in the student hub and as the premium classes. But as it come down to exam, I do 1 or 2 free sessions. And this is one of them. So the bearing of P from S is 205 degrees. Determine the bearing R from S. The bearing of P from S is 205. So they're telling us, class, watch this. This is S. This is the note. They're telling us that this angle here altogether is 205. It's 205, they say? Remember how to take bearings, right? You start from the note and you go clockwise until you hit the line that connects the both of them. P from S. P from S. P from S. And now they want the bearing of R from S. R from S. So still S. So simple maths here, man. R is over here. And we're the bearing of R from S. So you start on S. If you're going to R from S, it means you started on S. So we just need to subtract. So the bearing of R from S is just that missing angle here. It's going to be 205 minus, you all seen it? The 72 plus the 25, which is how much? 133, somebody saying. So you need to minus the 72 plus the 25. How much you get? You get 158. That's not correct. $108. Why are you getting so much problems to minus it? Some people say a bunch of 133s, right? So 108, 108. Why are you getting 133? What are you doing? You need to minus the 72 plus the 25, eh? If you're getting problems, just use your calculator, you know. I don't know what you're doing, so what? You put 205 and you subtract. I'll have a second guessing myself. You put 72 plus 25 like this. 108. You forget to minus the 25. Oh, shucks. So 108, you're leaving the 25. So yeah, it's 108 degrees. S from P, maybe I might have to do some sign rule because I see there's 2 marks. Let's go check. S from P. No, I don't. From P. So they're looking at this angle here. Now, what class? Anybody from a class here? What's the secret source of a bearings question? What is the secret source? Yeah, men tired, I know, I don't understand. What's the secret source of a bearings question? What helps you to figure out that missing angle all the time in the bearings question? What's the most important thing? The 2 knots add up to 180. Yeah, but what's that called? What's these co-interior angles? Well done, Tanisha. Co-interior angles. The co-interior angles are supplementary. Meaning this angle right here and this angle right here always add up to 180 degrees. With the knots, the co-interior angles are supplementary. Wherever they are. If you have 2 knots here and the lines like this, these angles are 180. That's your secret sauce. Don't forget to season your food with that. Now your score marks, bro. Sis. So we can figure out this really easy because this whole thing is 205. So what is it missing? 160 minus 5, 155. This is 155 degrees. And then what this one will be then? Because I get the 360, you're going to have to do a 360 minus something in this bearing question, most likely. So you get 155. That's not the answer. They wanted the bearing of S from P. S from P. So you need to go look at P. So if you stop at 155, you're wrong. I need to look at P. S from P. Look, when you see from, you look at the one that comes after. P. So this is 25, right? 25 and 155 makes 180. So you get the 25 there. Hopefully everyone catches that. And you can show the working. The working would look something like this. Let me show you how one of these workings would look like. Like this. 205 minus 180 is 25. Since angle Y and angle T are alternate angles, they are equal. Hence angle Y is equal to 25. I use our alternate angles. I could have used co-interior. Yeah. I did this and I get, I did this and I get 25, 25. Why did I do that? All right, but you catch the drift. How the working will go? Your parallel reasoning. Last question, the determinant is 24. So the determinant of a matrix ABCD, determinant is equal to AD minus BC, if this is the general form. AD minus BC. Now, matrices is one of the fastest ways and the toughest question to collect marks. We reached down to under 200 people on YouTube. We still have 100 and something on TikTok. So we're going strong. What did I say in the last question here? In the last question, S from P, we use co-interior. Co-interior is the way to set the people free. Don't worry about anything else. 205, take it away from 360, you get 155. And the co-interior angles are supplementary. They always add up to 180 degrees. So if you got this angle to be 120, this angle is 60 because it has to add up to 180 degrees. You're going to use that in a bearings question shortly. Very shortly. Very soon, very shortly. So determinant is going to be AD. A in this case is 6. D is negative V. Minus B is 2V. And C is negative 5. I am some crying. I wonder who cried. So negative 6V minus this turns to plus 10V. Calculate the value of V. So they are telling us that this is what? The determinant is 24. So therefore, negative 6V plus 10V is equal to 24. Right now I'm working on automatic and it is maths just flowing. I'm not even too sure why I write it. I'm working on automatic. So 6 by, let me just double check. 6 by 10, B by C, negative 2V, negative 5. Yeah, really kind of pushing myself today in that. If I tell you my deal, you will scream. So we have 14, negative 6V, V is equal to 4. Let me just say it started off in Guyana. And right now I'm in Trinidad. So 14 divided by negative 6. Is this correct? I lost some V's along the way, man. I lost some V's along the way. I'm doing stupidness. So this is plus 10V. So this is 4V is equal to that. So V is equal to 24 divided by 4. So V is equal to 6. I lost the V, boy. When I was bringing them across there, I forget a V. So it's negative 6V plus 10V is 4V. Bring across the 4, you get 6. Cooking. Matrices L and M are defined as following. Calculate product. We love our little matrix product. We have been practicing. How many of you all know how to do your matrix product by now? Hold up. You know how to do your matrix product with the row, column vibe? It's a little dance now. Watch how the pros does do it. Watch how the pros do it. Now this is easy maths. Make sure you can do this. This is cricks and cheese. 9 by 2 is 18. 5 by negative 4 is negative 20. So I was recently told that cricks is a thing in most of the Caribbean, but it's not really a big thing in Jamaica. Anybody from Jamaica can testify that you don't know about cricks. My mind was blown. 6 by 2 is 18. 5. You notice you go row by column. You slide down the column and you slide across the row. That's how I get these products here. Go and look it up if you don't know how to do it. 3 by 2 is 6. 2 by negative 4 is negative 8. You don't know about cricks? Firstly, it's not spelled like C-R-I-C-K-S. This person spelled cricks like this, yes. Oh, the disrespect. What's that? Good night from Jamaica. So, Jamaicans, you all don't know what is cricks? Before you come, if you ever come to Trinidad, make sure you learn what is cricks. 18 minus 20. 6 minus 8. So we get negative 2, negative 2. Negative 2, negative 2. What is cricks? You really don't know what is cricks. You can tell which part of the Caribbean you're from if you don't know what is cricks. Anybody from Grenada here? Guyana. Guyana knows cricks. Good night from Jamaica. We have a lot of Jamaicans right now. I wonder if it's because I have on my Jamaica hat. One of the things that's happened sometimes is people be guessing which part of the Caribbean I'm from. And I have such a strong accent for my country. I don't know, like some people don't know the accent. Look it up. Grenada, I tell you know what's cricks. J. You know it's cricks, right? L inverse, the inverse of L. So we need to find the inverse now. Let's do this real fast. So this was a beautiful question. Now the paper was hell in the beginning compared to the average maths paper. And question 2 question. Them early questions was crazy. But look at this. You don't get easier matrices than this. They're just making you find the inverse and multiply and thing. Real baby things. So J don't know what is cricks too. Bermudas. Excuse me, I need to do better than that, Bermudas. If it's one thing Trinidad is export is these snacks, eh? When I go into different countries, most of these snacks is Trinidad. So Trinidad good at exporting snacks, and Jamaica good at exporting music and culture. Because the Jamaican culture is everywhere. So much so that a lot of people, the rest of the Caribbean don't like this. But you go somewhere, like if I'm in the States and people hear your accent, they're like, I'm from Jamaica, and you're like, well, I know the Jamaicans use that as pips. All right, so L inverse, the inverse of L. How do we do this? To find the inverse matrix, you're going to find 1 over the determinant and you multiply it by the adjoint. So that's the formula. That's what we're looking for. L inverse is 1 over the determinant by the adjoint. So the first thing you need to do is find the determinant. Lock in. The determinant is AD minus BC. Did we find this already? No, we did not. So it's 9 by... Yes, we did. No, we did not. Yes, we did. No, we did not. No, we did not. Yes, no. No, that's the last one. So 9 by 2 minus 5 by 3. So you get 18 minus 15 is 3. Beautiful. And the adjoint, now you need to research this. The adjoint, I don't like to write the formula first. Because people start to do all kind of gymnastics, is misunderstand the formula. But I'm going to write the formula first. When I'm teaching the lesson, I don't write the formula first. You swap the D and the E and you switch the sign on the B and the C. That don't mean you make it negative all the time. It means you switch the sign. It just so happens in this case, the 2 and the 9 will swap. And since these are positive, it will turn negative 5, negative 3. So that's our adjoint. Now, usually you write adjoint and you put brackets of L, and you write determinant and you put brackets of L. Another way to write determinant is just put this symbol. So when you come back to St. Vincent, I was in St. Vincent a couple of weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago, 3-4 weeks ago. So 1/3, and you'll have 2 minus 5. I've been to St. Vincent twice. I've been to Grenada many times. Guyana even more times. Jamaica quite a few times. But I've never been to the touristy part of Jamaica. So this is the inverse. You multiply 1/determinant by the adjoint. This should get you full marks, but if you want, you can incorporate it and everything by putting the 3 over everything. And -3/3 is -1, -5/3, and 9/3 is actually just 3. Are we cooking? I see Tanisha had that answer. If I've ever been to Trinidad, well, yeah, my mother dropped me off here some years ago in the hospital. That's where I touched down. This is where I touched down. So I think I've been to Trinidad. If P is the point -2, 3, determine the coordinates of Q. So this is a vector PQ. P to Q is 5, -4. So you go across 5 and then you go down 4. So if P is -2, 3, then Q will have to be -2, 3, and you add on that vector 5, -4, because you need to go across 5, go down 4. So -2 plus 5, you get 3, and 3 plus negative, you get -1. So that's just a quick understanding of translation. Are we alive, ladies and gentlemen? Anybody else here from the beginning? So you need to come to Jamaica. I've been to Jamaica 4 times, maybe 4 times. But I've only been to Kingston. Never been really outside of Kingston. D and D. Oh, there's still more. There's vectors. Last part, people. Last part. Take a deep breath. We're going. In the pentagon OABCD, OA is parallel to DC. Fine. This is our worst case scenario vectors, but we'll continue. And AB is parallel to OD. Good. What are they going to cook up here now, boy? O is A, AB is B, right? So this is the geometrical vectors vibe. There's a little more. OD, where's OD? This is OD, is 2 times AB. All right, so this is really, let's put that in 1 time, 2B, because it's 2 times. And OA is 2 times DC, so this is half A. This is A and 2. You all understand what I just do there? Since OA is twice DC, and this is A, that means I just divide that by 2 to get U. Cooking. In terms of A and B in its simplest form, AD. So the key to vectors is finding another way. So A to D is this way, but we don't have A to D, so we'll go down a known path. So A to D is negative. Let's do it. It's A to O, and then you add on O to D. Now, A to O is not A, it's backwards. So you put negative A, and O to D is 2B. Cooking. So far, so good. 1 mark. Usually, you could scrape up some marks in this if you have a vague understanding of it. BC. All right, BC is just a whole missing item here, boy. They catch me. I'll go all the way around to figure out BC, boy. That is bacchanal. Well, actually, I know AD, so I can take a shortcut. But it's not such a big shortcut, to be honest. The shortcut isn't huge. I just take out these 2. So anyhow, BC is all the way around. So, but if you're going backwards, you have to write negative, right? So it's like negative B, negative A, kind of shortcutting it, plus 2B, plus A over 2. You all understand? Negative this, negative that, positive this, positive this. And then that's A and a 9. We can neaten up this a little bit. Minus B plus 2B. So that's just 1B. And minus A plus A over 2. So that's just minus A over 2. That's like minus 1 plus a half. Minus 1A plus a half. You'll get negative a half. You can check it on your calculator if you're feeling a little spooked about it. So this is the answer here. B minus A over 2. Interessante. So far, so good. Are you ready for me to start the next paper? Another way you can write this is negative half A plus B. So this is half A negative, and it's still plus B. So all of that is good. We start in the next paper one time after this. We're going up till 1 p.m. We are not. This is the last question. Last question. We did it. State the conclusion about AD and BC that can be drawn from responses. AD, so the modulus of A and the modulus of BC. Let's go check them out. AD and BC. Let's see it in the diagram first. AD, BC. AD, BC. Well, I think they're parallel. I think that's what we're aiming for, but let's see. AD, but they want, in terms of size, I don't know why it is a parallel. AD is negative A plus B. And B is, no, plus 2B. Plus 2B. And BC is negative half A plus B. So yes, we can see that they are parallel because they have the same scalar factor relationship between the two of them. Like I can multiply this by 2 and get this. A half by 2 is negative 1. A negative a half by 2 is negative 1. And 1b by 2. You understand? But they don't want it to say parallel. And usually we say that parallel because they have the same scale factor. That's what we usually say. But that's not what they want you to say. They actually want you to say that the modulus of AD is twice the modulus of BC. That's what they're looking for. They want you, because that's what they asked, right? State the conclusion about AD and BC. Well, AD is basically twice BC. The size of this is twice the size of that. At the end of that, at the end of the whole paper. Their scalar factor is 2, but no, this is what they want. They want to state the relationship. State a conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That was one of the toughest papers in recent times, a very controversial paper, the controversial 2024, explained in full detail. And that is pretty useful if your teacher brings you 2024 in the exam, mock exam, tomorrow or whenever you'll have mock exam. If the teacher doesn't bring this, is even more useful for you. That means you get practice in another paper and you already have this paper under your belt. Now it's up to you to go and practice more papers. So y'all will probably see me again for a workshop maybe on Sunday. At the ending of this month, we'll be doing a workshop on bearings. I have some other workshops coming up. Those of y'all who want to get through the student hub, we have a mega crash course coming up. It's plus 1868. The student hub has the best crash courses. Ask anybody in Keep and everything. And we have it in a wide range of subject areas. The maths crash course is the maximum vibes. I am going to be handling the maths crash course. So plus 1-868-310-1306. You want to WhatsApp this number anywhere in the Caribbean. We have had students from everywhere in the Caribbean. Right now we have students from basically everywhere in the Caribbean: Jamaica, Grenada, St. Vincent, Antigua, Dominica, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I should say, Grenada, and all the other smaller islands. Sorry for not remembering everyone. Montserrat, St. Lucia, Belize. We have we get 1 or 2 from the sprinklings up there. Is it the Virgin Islands? We have a few from up there. Yeah, we have them all over. So you can WhatsApp this number and you can get through to the crash courses. Shout out to everybody here. Let's delete this man because what we're going on with you, boy? I'm the young monster, boy. Want to touch some grass now, boy? Ban user and delete their comments. Go touch some grass, my brother. Earlier, it was nice. See those of y'all who have class tomorrow. Don't feel because of this we not class. We are class bright and early. Well, not bright and early in the afternoon tomorrow. Those of y'all who want to jump in the crash course, jump in ASAP. Register from early. Don't wait for the rush near the end. Later, people, can you do paper 3 practice? Yeah, later on. And I'm going to do some in the crash course. Jump in the crash course. Love and blessings later. And then the TikTok live now. Don't forget to press follow. A lot of y'all who watch the whole thing not following. So bless me to follow. We're looking forward to 200K followers later. YouTube, it was nice. Appreciated. My friend, you was performing. Big up yourself. Crash course is in April. We're in March. Crash course is near the end of April. Blessings Nikolai, and everybody who grind for the last 3 hours and 20 minutes. Right now, my voice shredded. I hope it recover by the morning. Later.